Now, guys, if we can, get your glasses of wine ready to go, whatever it is that you're sipping on. And we are now going to take it over to DJ Sidekick on the ones and twos for Wine Me Down Kick.
Showing y'all another edition of Wine Me Down Kick. I'm DJ Sidekick, your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. I want to thank everybody who's been rocking with me for these, 9 weeks? Yeah, 10 weeks. Okay, 10. We on. We're doing good. Growing. Come to the stage, yo. My little bro. First, I'm going to say that. Yo, when I tell you, this man is a comedian. He's an actor. He's a writer. You see him on everything from Kill and Pete to Insecure, but you seen him on Chocolate Sunday, which we're back this Sunday at the Live Factory. Come to the stage. My man, take your mute off. I need y'all to make some noise. He's been rocking for y'all every week on the virtual. Give it up for Ron G, y'all. Make some noise.
Yeah.
I like your background better than mine.
What's
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna start with. You don't like mine? There you go.
There we go. We'll do
there
that.
We go.
Hey,
y'all.
Do we like the black one? Do we like the white one? Hold on.
Pretty boy.
Which one do you like?
Black. Because I'm black, so we gotta do black together.
I like white.
You like white?
Who said that? Sarah?
Sarah?
Oh, we like the white?
Okay, we can do white then. Let's
go.
All
on.
right. What up, Ron?
Man, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Great to see you.
I am great. I'm great. First
Yo,
thing,
that show was
y'all.
great, man. I never seen the first impression show. It was so dope.
Yeah, that's a good show. It's a great show.
Jordan is hilarious. I saw him over here trying to clown, though.
I told you he was in there. I said,
hey, can I do my Jordan impression? Can I do my Jordan impression?
Go.
Because I don't know if y'all noticed or not. Jordan is already hilarious, but his transitions and segues to his conversation be so hilarious. He'd be like, with that being said, henceforth, first of all, he'll do first of all 7 times. First of all, let's give a round of applause to, first of all, A, first of all, B, henceforth, nonetheless, needless do we say,
hallelujah.
Henceforth and furthermore, the congregation, amen, as we transition to another portion of henceforth, first of all, with that being said,
yo, Ron,
what's up, bro?
The tag team duo is back in 3 days. How you feeling, man?
Bro, it's about to be crazy. We about to be late at the same time. The energy gonna be right.
We're gonna get cussed out at the same time.
We're gonna get cussed out at the same time. She gonna give me the light. I can't wait because she probably working out right now trying to get that light right to give me the light. Get back.
Ain't done it in a while.
You know she be singing. She be nice nasty. Runnathan. Like, you're going over the light, Runnathan. We can't do this. We can't. Ronathan, henceforth and furthermore, henceforth.
Mine is, oh, you here? She walked by, oh, you here? Yes, I'm here.
Kick, where we?
That is kick. What are you playing?
That's so funny. Yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. It's gonna be great to be back in the building. I just don't know how to deal with people after the show because I'm so used to like my ritual of standing by the door. I'm for real. My ritual of standing by the door and shaking hands, like I'm Southern, so I feel like me doing that makes the room feel smaller and people feel like they know me. And I'm going to miss doing that because I feel like I can't be taking no COVID home to my wife. So I'm going to have to just peace out and go upstairs or something. It's just weird.
Yeah. But we back, though.
We back, man.
So you know what we got to do. Yo, we got to
do my joke standing up now?
Yeah. But we got to do stick man. We got to do the stick man.
Oh, man, yeah.
We got to do light skin in the club. We got to bring back light skin in the club.
Wait, I stole that. I can't do it anymore. I stole it.
We got to do the kick. What you'll play in a club, at a different party. We got to do that.
Somebody caught that.
Yeah.
No, I said I can't do the joke anymore because apparently I stole it.
We're gonna steal it back then. We steal it back. And Big Tough said we got to bring back Steve. We got to bring back Steve. Steve got to be in the building.
I'm gonna be doing Steve with a mask on. Steve. Henceforth and furthermore, needless to say. All right, cool. My bad.
Let's get this wrong. Okay, Ron. Full name. Where are you from and where was you raised at?
My full government name is Ron G. I was born, I was born and I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, and
all right, Southern.
yeah, I'm a country boy, man. I feel like I had a great childhood, man. Being raised while I'm from just simple life, country folks, and my family loud, and we have a good time, and we live for Fridays and barbecues.
Oh,
yeah.
Did I miss a question?
Was you raised there?
Did I miss it?
No, was you raised out there too?
Yeah, my day after I graduated, because my family was toxic, I moved to Atlanta and kind of figured my life out. My family was toxic. Like I didn't know it was toxic when I lived there, but I was like, I gotta go. And when I left, I was like, oh, okay, this is what it's like. And then I kind of found myself. I found Jesus. I found my purpose, and I was like, you know what? I think I figured it out. And then God was like, what you gonna do about it? Because I had a moment. I kept getting fired from my job, and I was like, man, this sucks. And I remember having a meltdown, and I was watching TV, and for some reason, I feel like God told me. He said, you're gonna be a great comedian one day, but what are you gonna do about it? And I remember crying because I was good at a lot of stuff, but I wasn't great at nothing. And God was like, what are you gonna do about it? And I was like, I'm gonna move to LA. I never been to LA. I didn't know nobody in LA. And I remember the next day, my dad called me. He said, I'm gonna send you some money. And he sent me money. And then one of my homies from my church in Atlanta knew Pookie and Chris Spencer. And he said, I'm gonna set you up so you can get on Chocolate Sundays. This is my first time in LA. You know, the waiting list was like 2 years back then.
Crazy.
I performed at Chocolate Sundays and then the Comedy Union, and I fell in love. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. I was also in a bad relationship where I was engaged as well, and that's why I get the dream.
We're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna get to that later.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you wanted the long answer. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
Go ahead.
We got that. So, was you growing up in school? Was you the class clown? Was you the quiet one? Was you the?
I was a class clown, bro. I was always the class clown, but I used to do my work really fast so I can like mess with girls and flirt. Yeah, man.
Was the work right? Was it correct?
I was always an honor roll student, but I did my work really fast so I could mess with people. So I never really got in trouble. So even when they sent me to the office for like talking to make people laugh, like I didn't really get in trouble because I did my work.
Okay, you get themselves closing doors and shit. I mean,
that was my wife. She came home.
Oh, what's up, sis?
My lovely wife. Hey, Kick said, "What up?"
What up?
You heard she said,
I'm gonna tell you about sis.
Y'all heard? She's like, "Ew." She's so funny, man.
So growing up, who was your celebrity crush, Ron? Who was like that girl? The wife just walked in, but it's okay. Who's that girl that was like you?
Lisa Turtle or Vanessa? What was the old Vanessa Huxtable?
Vanessa?
Wasn't she the oldest?
That's the middle one.
No.
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, that's
Lisa
the
Bonet.
one.
You talking about?
Oh man, Lisa Bonet.
Lisa was what was Lisa?
We talking about my childhood. Fix your face, baby.
She was married to Lenny Kravitz.
Denise. You talking about Denise Huxtable?
Denise, yeah, Denise was
Vanessa was the middle. That's why I said Vanessa.
No,
okay.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Denise
she had the thick bangs. I didn't like the thick bangs. Oh, and then I like older women too. I like the lady from 227, the thick one. What was it? That looked like Kim Whitley.
Jackie?
Yeah. I used to be at my grandma's house watching them old people shows. She had me watching the Young and the Restless and The Price is Right in the 700 Club.
You knew everybody, huh?
Bro, I was 8 watching In the Heat of the Night.
He did it.
I'm watching all the old people shows, the Andy Griffith show. I'm watching all the old people shows.
Wonder what's going on with your life, huh?
Hey,
right, Ron,
I'm mad.
So
my grandma gossiping about Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. I'm like, I'm gossiping. That Victor Newman always in some mess. Every time I watch that show, he always into some mess. That's how old people talk.
All right, Ron, so give me this. Give me 5 songs from your childhood that you remember like that. Take you straight to your childhood. Where we going?
All right, so be patient with me. I'm gonna tell you, this is my hold on a second. Y'all hold on a second. Where's my all right, do I have to? I thought I sent it to you. Did I send it to you?
Yeah, give me the answer.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do it in no particular order because I can't find my list right now.
Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Do I have it? Oh, here we go. Got it.
Yeah,
all right, my first one is Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle, Saturday Love. I love that song.
You talk this? Talk to me about it, Ron. Talk to me about it. What was it about that? What
Always
was
and forever. You were never on Sunday. Monday's too soon. Tuesday. I love that song because I remember my parents. I remember my dad used to get drunk and him and my mom used to argue. And then when they made up, they'd be dancing in the living room, like slow dancing in the living room. And that just reminded me of my parents.
Hilarious. That's a great song.
Oh man, I love that song. Number 2 is I call it the family reunion song. This song came on, everybody at the family reunion started acting stupid, and we did the little dance, the little Soul Train line. Johnny Kemp just got paid. I even know the ad libs. I even know the ad. I say, ho, you said. You said. I say, ho, 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 ho.
What the big drop? Feels good. Hey.
I'm in the kitchen dancing with my church socks on. I love that song. I say, ho, you said. Oh man. The next one is this is, I call it the Friday night cleanup song. So on Friday nights, my mom used to make us clean up the house, and we used to watch Def Comedy Jam. So this song reminded me of my mom because she's always put like this song on. Anita Baker, Sweet Love.
That's the cleanup song right there.
Yeah. And I remember because that's how old women, they pat their thigh when the song comes. They be like, they pat their thigh when they dance like this.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Ron, go in that kitchen and bring me some ice water in a mason jar. And she just shake it up. Go give me a BC powder and a Pepsi and some ice water. And then shake. Never mind. All right. That's my granny.
What's next?
Oh man, this one right here. This was the one. This MC Hammer can't touch this. This is my whole childhood right here.
Can't touch this.
This is when I learned how to dance.
You can't touch this.
This your dance?
One of the best episodes of In Living Color when Tommy Davidson did.
Oh, Tommy Davidson did that?
MC Hammer. Yes. This song right here, that's my childhood right there. And then the last but not least, I think he's like one of the best MCs, but who's never talked about. But this song right here, it's another like, I call it like a family reunion dance song. That when the song came on, like my whole family started dancing, and I could never do this part, but maybe you can show me how to do it. It's the Heavy D, Now That We Got Love. Back when big dudes used to dance. Remember when big dudes used to be sweating? Hey, you had to like the little track, the nylon wind jacket, and you zip it down, and steam come out.
Yes, you did.
Hey, can you do the my diddly diddly diddly? I can't do it. My diddly diddly diddly. Dang it.
Yeah, you.
Can you do it?
That was his.
I can't do it. I can't do it either.
That was his right there.
Yeah, you had a loud windbreaker on. It's like shh.
Walking to the club.
Yeah, sound like somebody shushing you. Telling me to shut up.
I ain't said All right, so Ron, that was RB. Give me 5 songs that you remind me of childhood that's hip hop. Give me 5 hip hop.
5 hip hop songs?
Yeah, 5 hip hop groups or rappers or how you want to put it.
All right, okay, cool. Is that that made me fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. So the group that made me fall in love with hip hop, man, it's tough. It's like literally all these 3. So one was Wu-Tang. So Raekwon, the purple CD.
You said it's reminiscent.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Killer Bees.
Remember that first Ghostface album? Remember the first Ghostface?
Oh yes.
Bruh.
They was
first Ghostface.
They was grimy with theirs.
All right, now listen. This is my second one. My second one is Goody Mob. Cell Therapy. Bruh, this right here, This made me love Southern hip hop.
This is Atlanta all day.
Bro, but this is why I'm torn about hip hop.
Come on. What? Dun, 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 dun. When I heard this, I was like, who in the hell talking like this? C-Bob.
Stretch marks in these hoes, hollering they got raped. 13 years old, exposed themselves. Oh man. I'm gonna go with Outkast AT Aliens.
AT Aliens?
Yeah, Wheels of Steel.
I was going like this. I was going like this. This is to me Atlanta.
That's older. That's older. All right.
We're gonna figure you out on that.
All right, I got another one, bro. I gotta figure out do you know the song "Too Much Booty in the Pants"?
Too much booty in the pants?
Yeah, dance. Too much booty in the pants. Too much booty in the pants.
No, I know it. I don't have it. That was so old. Now I gotta get it. Now I gotta get it.
Do you have any Uncle Al? Do you know who Uncle Al is?
No, that's deep Atlanta.
No, it's like Miami. This is like
that's Miami.
peak.
Okay.
Uncle Al was like Uncle Luke's rival, but they both had a really dope sound. Yeah, okay. Uncle Al.
I ain't slipping.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna make it easy for you because the songs I know from back home that you wouldn't. So we could do KP and Envy, Shawty Swing My Way. You got that? This is peak.
No, that's not it.
What is that?
That was Heavy D. Hold on.
All right, my next one is do you know who Poison Clan is? Shake What Your Mama Gave You?
Yes. Oh, come on now. We know.
JT Money?
All Miami, yes. Hold on. We only asked for 5 rounds, but we're gonna do this last one.
Come on, man.
Ron do it like, here we go.
Bro, I'm country. You don't know nothing about that Sidekick. You ain't even had it.
That's
you was about to go pull some crates out. You like, I don't know if I got this in my.
Exactly. I had to go dig in the crates for those. Like, hold on, let me get the needles out. All right, so come on, Ron, let's go. Tell me your first time you hit the stage. How did it feel? What year was it?
Oh man.
How did you know this was it?
Shoot. I think my first time on stage was like November of 2004.
4? Okay. So you knew to the game kind of stuff.
Yeah, 2004. And I remember I was at Uptown Comedy Club. I just got fired from my first job. And I remember my cousin was already doing comedy. And he was like, hey, man, you hilarious. You should try getting on stage. And I was like, man, I don't know. And they had Apollo night at Uptown. And it was basically a bunch of room full of dope dealers and strippers. And I was like, man, I don't know. And he gave me one joke. And he said, do this joke and write another one and you'll be good. I got on stage, man. And I don't know. I feel like everything was going in slow motion. And I did my one joke and all I heard was, are you frozen?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. I got on stage, man. And halfway through that joke, I heard them start booing. And it was a very vicious, aggressive boo. And then it was a door next to me. I'm like, should I run at the door or should I stay here? Because I've never been booed before. And I'm standing there and everything was going in slow motion. After they started booing me, some nigga yelled out, hey, nigga, kill yourself. And then they started playing that James Ingram song, I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Bro, and while this was happening, I got hit with a boo grenade. For some reason, the whole back row, I don't know if it was comedians, but all I heard was, boo, nigga. Like all this was happening at the same time. And I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible, right? Wow. And so I went to go sit down next to my cousin, which was right in front of the DJ booth. I looked at my cousin. My cousin was like, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. So the host came back up and he was like, hey, man, that was rough. Because mind you, I just saw 3 other comedians bomb before me, right? All new cats. The host was like, yo, y'all give it a run. He was like, boo. They was like, wait, y'all don't like this nigga name? He was like, Run, Boo, G, Boo, Run, G, Boo. And I was like, nigga, I am still getting booed and I'm in the audience. So then I tried to leave early because I don't want to catch the let out because I don't want to face all these people who just booed me. I'm walking to my car. This nigga was like, hey, little nigga, you ain't gonna never be funny. And that's back when I used to curse. I was like, F you, nigga. And he was like, F you, get you killed. And then I ran to my car. I ran in my car, and that was the beginning of my life change. And I was like, I'm competitive. I'm gonna figure this thing out, and I stuck with it, bro. And I remember within 8 months, I got my first standing ovation at I think it's Fort Benning, right outside of Atlanta, and yeah, once I realized like, oh, okay, like comedy ain't that bad. I just need a place to let me talk and get it out. And that was the beginning of my life change.
Did you ever quit? Has in this journey, have you ever said, you know what?
I wanted to quit. I was gonna quit one time because I was engaged. Before I moved to LA, I was engaged and I dated somebody who necessarily didn't believe in my dreams. And I feel like I had me money, I didn't have we money. Yes.
The dream snatcher.
Yes,
oh, okay.
I had me money, but I didn't have we money. And I knew I was good at comedy. I just didn't make enough money to like support a family. But she was like, I want this expensive wedding and I need to go look at fabric. And I'm like, I didn't even eat today. And I was like, I got to figure this thing out. And me and Byron was talking, me and Byron Bowers, man. And I told him, I said, I'm thinking about quitting comedy because where I'm from, don't nobody dream. You just do what you're supposed to do and take care of your family. And I was going to quit my dream. And he was like, bro, don't do that. Like, don't quit your dream, man, because if you do, you're going to be resentful toward her. And I was like, all right, cool. So there was this competition coming up. Remember the WB network with the frog? Remember the WB?
Right. Yeah.
So they had a comedy competition with the WB, and it was like, it was a huge comedy competition. The winning was, if you win, you get some money and you get a trip to Vegas. So Byron was like, yo, like, don't give up your dream. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this comedy competition. If I win, I'm going to stick with comedy. And bro, I won. They flew me out to Vegas, and I told my lady, I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna go to Vegas. And she was like, I can't go. And I was like, well, you didn't believe my dream. Why would you just gonna let me quit my dream? Why would you go to Vegas with me and celebrate? So I took Byron, we went to Vegas and performed in Vegas. And like, it was amazing to be a comic, like 1 year in the game and like perform in Vegas was such a big deal. And just, that's when that thing started turning like, yo, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here, bro. And long story short, that's when I had the moment with God, and God was like, look, what are you gonna do about it? Performed at Chocolate Sundays. I met Michael Collier and Mike Epps, and then like I came back home and I told my girl, and I was like, hey babe, how would you feel if I moved to LA to pursue my dream? And she was like, that's a dumb idea. Like, why would you move to LA and completely start over? I mean, you have a church home, you have a home, you have me. Why would you leave? And that day, like my heart dropped. And I was like, I think she gave my ring back too. She gave my ring back. She was like, oh, let me tell you why she gave my ring back. So she asked me one day, she was like, hey, would you die for me? And I was like, what? She was like, will you die for me? And I was like just straight up kill myself so you can live? Like, what do you mean? She was like, no, if something happened, would you die for me? And I was like, well, I would have to think about dying for my mama. Like, I love my mama, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll protect you. And she was like, you don't believe in me. And so she's like, you ain't ready to get married, and gave me my ring back because of that conversation. I was like, that's dumb. Like, what are you doing that? Meanwhile, all this stuff happened, and I said, I'm going to leave. And then she was like, yeah, you shouldn't leave. And so I told her, I got a job over the phone. I sold my house right during that housing crisis thing. They held my job for like 3 months. And I just said, I'm gonna leave. And she was like, well, you're not gonna take me with you? And I was like, well, to have a new house, move to a new state, a new career with a person who don't believe my dreams, I don't think that makes sense. And then I said, I can't do this. And I left. And then less than 6 months later, I booked the spokesperson gig for Rallies and Checkers restaurant. I wound up being the spokesperson on my first commercial audition ever. So they was playing a commercial like every 15 minutes in Atlanta. And like, my life changed. And ever since then, from that time to Who's Got Jokes, Last Comic Standing, like, bro, I've not worked a 9 to 5 since May of 06.
Dope. Congrats.
But I had to say yes to my dream to get to that point.
So when the commercial came out, did she ever get back? Did she get back at you? Did she call you?
I don't know how much time you got, bro, but this is a crazy story. So literally, you remember when the Rams made it to the playoffs? Or they made it to the playoffs? Okay, so I don't know how much time we got, but the Rams made the playoffs. And so we were at the Laugh Factory, bro. And I always, me and my wife sit upstairs and talk about people. We talk about people before I go on stage so I can have something to talk about.
Oh, I remember this night.
Yes, bro. And so I'm surveying the room. Some dude got a Trader Joe's shirt on, like a Hawaiian shirt. Another chick got a checkerboard onesie, a polka dot onesie, and somebody else in the front had a dress on, like a Cheesecake Factory bag, right? And so I was like, what is this terrible outfit night? Like, you got a Trader Joe's shirt right here, the checkerboard onesie, and I feel like I see a Cheesecake Factory bag in the corner of my eye. When I tell you it was my ex, the Dream Snatcher, in the front row, She was in the front row, and I didn't know who she was until I looked her in the eyes, and I was like, "This is crazy." So I was standing next to where Lonnie was, right? And so I was waiting to go up. She got up and used the bathroom like 3 times. You know, women be trying to like be seen, right? So she stood up, and we saw each other in the hallway, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" She's like, "What's up?" She's like, "How you been?" I said, "I am amazing. My life," and this is like, I think this is like Cousins for Life, my Nickelodeon show. I was like, "My life is incredible. I'm about to get married." You know, TV show popping, it just happened. I was like, "How you been?" She's like, "Oh, I'm doing well. I'm out here because the Rams made the playoffs." I'm like, "Cool." She was like, "Are you dating?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get married. My girl's amazing. What about you?" "Oh, well, I'm going through divorce." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Okay. I said, "I'm so
when I
sorry
tell
to hear
y'all that night he shitted the whole night. Like when I say he was on 100, every joke was like he was shooting straight at her.
But hear me out, man. I think I did Dream Snatcher that night. I ain't did that joke in like 10
yes,
years.
you did. You did.
I did Dream Snatcher
right
that night.
in front of her.
So hear me out. We went to the after party, right? We had what's the place called?
After
we had adults only, right?
Adults only.
While I'm there, she see me with my lady. I'm hugging on my lady. I'm kissing on her. We cuddling all. You know, I'm just being goofy, right? She emails me that night because I could see her in the corner of my eye. She was like, "Hey, look, by the way, I don't want you to make the same mistake I made." Sent me an email, a screenshot of her journal saying that I was her person. Like I said that she was my person. And she was when I thought she believed in me.
Time.
Yeah. Like, you don't believe my dreams? Like, you're not my person. Like, that's clear.
In 96, she was my person. Right.
Bro, she sent me a screenshot of a journal she had. She was like, "I don't want you to make the same mistake that I did by choosing the wrong person." I'm like, well, if I'm your person and you marry somebody else, you already messed that up.
Right.
You had me. Like, you had me before my dream was even a thing, right? And she said, "I'm leaving LA tomorrow. I'm staying at Hotel LAX. If you want to come by, feel free to do so." And whatever. And I was like, "Hey, sorry to hear that. I'm comfortable with my decision. I don't know if you need closure or not, but I'm fine and whatever." And then she like all ego and pride. "I was doing you a favor and blah blah." I'm like, "You got a whole husband trying to hit on me, and you show up like you had me, and then now you trying to pull up, like you're doing me a favor, like." Right. But anyway, me and my lady, we was dying laughing about it, and and
you talked about her outfit. I mean, you just went in on her, like you did.
But did it look like Cheesecake Factory bag? It did, because everybody started crying.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But it was
so
just
2006, Ron. You got picked for Bill Bellamy's Who Got Jokes season 1.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel to get that call? How was the process? How was the politics? I mean, how was that whole little section? Because you final, right?
Yeah, I made the finals. I remember standing outside the Comedy Union and auditioning, and I didn't know I got it. And then I got eliminated like the first round, I think, or something like that. And then they had a wild card. They brought me back as a wild card, and I won. I made the finals with George. With George or whatever. And the competition was a clean competition, and he cursed the whole time, which I'm like, this is weird. But he was also on the radio. He was on national radio, and I didn't win, but I still feel like it was the beginning of like my life changing. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my first major TV appearance. I'm also glad I didn't win because I didn't have a full 30 minutes to perform because I used all my jokes during the show. And thank you, Letitia. I appreciate you.
So was there any politics to that game? Or you said he cussed, but he was on the radio.
I could have easily won, but I didn't. But I feel like I wasn't supposed to win because I feel like I had more. I was like the people's champ. Even though I didn't win, it was like, we were rooting for you. I wanted you to win. So it's kind of one of those things, man.
Okay, so then in 2008, you made the finals position for the NBC Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
You went from TV One, BET to Channel 4. National. How was that feeling? How was that? NBC. How was that?
It was cool, but it was interesting because I feel like I did the last season where they was doing a bunch of reality stuff, and I didn't like the reality stuff because I was in a room full of people who, like, when the camera came on, they would all start tap dancing and becoming goofy and stuff like that. And I'm not like that. Off camera, I'm myself. I'm like this, you know what I'm saying? But they was like tap dancing and shooting people with Nerf guns. And I'm like, I'm the only black dude in the house. I'm like, I don't do all this, like, whatever. And so I don't know if y'all seen the show, but it was a really rough time for me because there was this group called God's Pottery, like two white guys, and they were very like almost like Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Dumb and Dumber, but they were like that,
Right.
real just. But it was an act, right? And so one particular episode, we had boxing gloves, and we were doing Yo Mama jokes inside of a boxing ring. And so I was acting like I was Muhammad Ali. I was like, y'all don't want none. I float like a butterfly and stink like a whatever. I don't know what it was, but the middle America moms saw me and was like, why would you talk junk to them like that? Because they edited it, made it like I was an arrogant black guy. And so when people saw the episode, they was like, why would you ever talk junk about these guys like this when you're supposed to be whatever you are? And I was the only black guy on set. Mind you, when the cameras went off, these guys didn't even believe in God. And I was literally like the only Christian on set, but I couldn't say nothing. And they were like, how do you feel about these guys? I was like, well, I think it's kind of weird to mock somebody's religion. Like their name is this religious thing, but they don't even believe in God. But nobody on TV could see it. And so the comment section was coming after me because it was like, why would you talk junk? And I'm like, I wanted to defend myself, but I couldn't because what I saw was not on TV, if that makes sense. And if you're on a reality show and something happens, you can't talk about what doesn't happen on camera because it doesn't translate. So I was literally getting torn down and getting trolled by middle America white women because they were like, I was mean and arrogant. And I was like, no, they like making fun of my religion. And I'm like, I'm a Christian and they being phony and they don't even believe in God. I'm like, it was just a weird situation. But in general, I had fun. It was a great opportunity. And I'm grateful for the chance on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
And you can never fight back because you're fighting against a machine. So it's like
you can't control the editing. That's why when you do reality shows, you have no control of what happens in the end. So that's why I don't like doing reality TV at all because like you don't control your image. Like, and they need an angle for the show to work because if everybody's decent, there's no show. But you know, in this time we live in, the crazier and most toxic you are, you're gonna get your own TV show. But if you're a good person, it's boring. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. So when's the first time you hit Chocolate Sunday stage?
That time I came to visit from Atlanta.
What year was that?
Shoot, it was probably like 05.
05?
05, bro.
Who was you on
Chris
stage
Spencer.
with?
Chris Spencer was hosting.
Okay.
Man, I remember that too. When I tell you had it jumping.
Yeah. Yes. On. How many times did you hit the stage before you got the host job? How many times did you hit the stage?
It was years, bro. It was years. I've been hosting now for like maybe 6. Yeah. Maybe 6. So yeah, all that time from 06 to 2017, maybe. Yeah. So yeah.
So as host coming in, who was you coming in? Was you guest hosting first and then you got the job, or did it just bring you straight in?
I think I guest hosted a couple times and then Pookie finally gave me the job, man. But man, when Pookie finally told me,
who was the two that you were? Yeah, who was before you? Right.
I think it was like Esau and Tony, maybe. I think Esau and Tony was alternating. Okay. Yeah, but Pookie told me why he hired me one day, and I almost cried, bro, because he was like he was putting me through tests the whole time, and I never knew that he was putting me through tests. He was like, bro, one time I put you after Earthquake, one time I put you after D-Ray. He said one time I put you up first, one time I put you up last, and he was like, every time you shine. And he said this in front of a bunch of comics. Because he never told me why he hired me, and he was like, every time like you showed up, and he said, I knew you was the future, and I was like, yo, that means a lot. And as a young comic to get the stamp by Pookie, because Pookie, he don't say nothing. No, he don't say nothing. He'll just call you one day with a gig and be like, hey, you want to do the show? And I'm like, me? He's like, yeah, you want to do it? And I'm like, okay. But for me, it felt very I don't know, it's like to be seen. And then when I first got the gig, it was tough because I had to find my voice. Like, it was hard, man, trying to find my voice, because my agent came one time and she was like, why all those comedians were talking bad about you? And I was like, I don't know. But I realized like everybody wanted that spot. And they were like, why did he get the spot and not me? And I went from trying to like get a standing ovation every show to like, let me just have fun. And then I got to a point where like, this is my show. When I got comfortable, that's when the show got better. I feel like when I pulled up the handbrake and I was like, yo, this is my show, and I had to find my rhythm, and you and I connecting and having our banter, and I'm talking about your Hennessy and apple juice and, you know, the crazy stuff that happened in the room, and then you and I making magic with like getting the crowd to dance, because I feel like that's what makes it special, because I make the room smaller, but you got people that never met each other before, and then I'm making people dance. Like, people, like, it's just the peer pressure of not dancing
and chanting for each other, like they root for each other. Everybody wants everybody to win.
I seen people get booed because they didn't want to dance. Like, people were literally booing. I just met these people too, and I'm making them dance. And if they don't dance, the whole crowd booing. But bro, I literally feel like you and I turned that place into like a movie. Like it's I hate telling people about the show because they don't believe me. I'm like, yo, this show, I can't describe it to you. You have to be there. It's almost like the virtual show. You can't describe the virtual show to nobody because they think it's like just regular. If you've been to virtual chocolate Sundays and the after party, you like, yo, this is what Sunday is. This is Sunday. But when you see us live, it's hard to explain what live is. I'm talking about, I got white boys doing the narrate your sexy. We got, women, black women twerking. We got white girls trying to match the black women. Everybody rooting for that person and screaming because, like, bro, like it's
the birthday.
It's just so amazing.
Jumps. Yeah,
the birthday stuff, man. Like it's just crazy.
First
all
impression.
the energy and what happens. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Dope. So, what was that moment when you knew you had? I mean, I know everybody has been tested, and you had to be tested. What was that moment when you was like, okay, this is my house. I have to show. What happened for you? You have to like put your foot down. I know, so you know.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. So I did a joke about having my first heartbreak, right? Neck tears. I'm basically doing my joke. I was like, you ever cry so hard, you see yourself crying in the mirror, you can't believe you crying like that, and you cry extra hard looking at you cry because you never seen you cry before, and you doing neck tears on the wall, and then TK came up. He's like, you over there crying over a man. And I'm like, he's like, you crying over these females. Who raised you? And I'm like, nigga, like, I'm a human being. I got my heart broke. Like, that happens, right? And he said something that was reckless. And everybody was like, ooh. And I was like, this is my moment. Am I going to be a host and let this be my house? Or I'm going to let him say something about me because of legacy and not defend myself? And when I tell you I tore him up so bad, bro. And
wait. It took like 2 or 3 times for it to happen, and you took the high road. Like they'll try you, and you be like, I'm not going to even say something. I'm not going to do it. And then one day it was like, Ron, this is your goddamn house. You got to do this shit. And TK was disrespectful with it. Yeah, and you just murdered.
I will always get the last word. Like I used to be like, I'm a nice guy. Like, oh, he big bro. Like, nah, if you say something about me, you about to get it, bro. It's a couple people. I was about to go fight somebody because somebody came in and pissed on the room. They was like, I shouldn't be doing this little show. And I'm like, well, if you doing this little show, then why are we here? Why are you doing this little show if you don't do this show? And I walked outside and I was like, look, bro, we work hard to make sure the show is dope. Like I work my butt off to make sure when you come to Chocolate Sundays, you're going to have a good time. Even on my best days, my worst days, I'm battling depression, I'm sick. I make sure everybody have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And to come in here and act like you too big for this, like we're not doing that. And I checked him. I was like, look, I said, bro, if you too big to be here, you shouldn't be here. Because all the big name people, they on tour. When they stop by, it's a treat. You here every week. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about me when I walk off. Or you can do it now like a man.
Can we say the name?
No.
No?
No, I'm not messing like that. I don't have to bring up somebody's name.
Okay.
I'll do it in his face. I would not do that. I don't do that.
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't bring up names like that.
So have you ever met any of your comedy heroes?
I have. I met a few of my comedy heroes, and I'm cool. That's why I feel like I'm going to be next. Like I used to be like, oh, he's such a thing, but when you start doing this thing and you realize you've done the work and your craft, the only thing is different about you and them is opportunity. So I'm going to be a legend. So I don't really look up to nobody. Like I used to be like, he's my hero, but then I met some of my heroes and they pissed on me, bro. Like one time I drove all the way out to Ontario because I was supposed to host for somebody, and I get there, it was one of my. It's so funny.
No, you got to say it. Okay.
So you ever meet comedians that are like, they're not funny, but they work really hard. So you see them all the time.
Right.
They work really hard, but you see them all the time. So they were there featuring. And so I get there, I'm in the green room, and I see my homie. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, oh, I'm featuring tonight. Cool. And so I'm in the green room. The headliner comes in, and his people was like, yo, you got to get out. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm fine. Like, I'll get out. So before I get to bring him up, I was like, hey, man, what would you like for me to say? He was like, nigga, you know me. Pick one of my credits. I was like, excuse me? He was like, you know me, nigga. Pick one of my credits. You know my resume. I was like, okay. And I brought him up. I tried to have good energy. I did like maybe 3 minutes. And after that, the manager hit me up and he was like, hey, look, we're going to pay you for the weekend. They basically fired you. And I was like, what'd I do? And I never got a reason. But the comic, I'm like, okay, I see you. And this guy, when I tell you, he will, if I ever get a chance and I'm on the other side of this table, he will never see, like, I got a list of OGs that pissed on me, like a list of them. And he just pissed on me so hard. I'm like, bro, you will never work for me. And I'm like, I'm so not a fan of people like anymore. Like I used to like admire people and like I can't wait to meet them. But now it's like I got a little short list of OGs who like all you gotta do is just be decent. I don't need nothing from you. I don't need no advice. I don't need nothing. Just be decent. You know what I'm saying? And they literally like
we was
pissed
talking,
on me.
Me and another comic was talking, and they said verbatim, Ron gets shitted on because first thing, he's a clean comic, so you don't have to do the fucks and shits on it to make you funny. Secondly, you're a good looking guy.
Thanks, bro.
And that's your biggest fault. And I was like, no scheming, no, he took my girl, no. Oh, and you get bitches. That's what it was. The third, and you get bitches. And that's what they hated. And I was
Baby, you hear that? Hold on a second. Hold on. Say it again, Kick. Hold on. I want to know about my past. Go ahead. What happened?
And you get bitches. That was their.
I get the hoes, baby. I get before. No, of course.
Used to. Right.
I was a whore and a half in these streets, babe, but not anymore because I love you. I love my wife.
So, Ron, how did it feel to have George Wallace come to your house, hear one of your jokes, come back the next week and do your joke right in fucking front of you and tell you he took the fucking joke?
Hilarious. Oh, he didn't do the joke. He redid it. Yeah, he kind of flipped the joke. He did.
So how was that? I mean, because that's one of the guys I know you looked up to, and you know he's a legend.
He's actually, man. Let me tell you something. He uncle, man.
Oh, that's your flowers.
Give me my flowers while I'm here, babe. You're so
thanks, sis.
She throwing flowers at me.
Like that. That's all you get. So how is it?
Okay, whore and a half. That's so funny. You know what, man? Like that dude, like I feel like he's one of the few OGs that really reached out to me, man.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm actually doing. He got a virtual show he does tomorrow. I'm actually gonna do that. But yeah, super nice guy. When I tell you, him and I was roasting each other, bro, that was a legendary Chocolate Sundays moment. I don't know if any of y'all were there.
Oh yeah, that's right. That night.
Let me tell you something. So if y'all, this dude is comedy royalty.
Is yes.
Seinfeld, Letterman, 97 times.
Yes.
One of the sharpest comics to ever do this thing called comedy, man. He came to Chocolate Sundays. You know he got 97 Yo Mama jokes in his pocket. But I went toe-to-toe with him. Like I feel like I won. But I feel like out of legacy, people was like, yeah. But his timing is so brilliant, man. But I feel like that was the moment as a young comic, I'm like, I could bow down and let him beat me and be like, oh,
right,
you're great.
It was okay.
Or you stand at your full height, bro. I'm savage mode now. I don't take no prisoners. If you come at me, it's about to be a problem. And I went toe-to-toe with him. I think we did it twice. Yeah. We did it twice, and I went at him. I'm like, but now I keep some in my pocket just in case. So even tomorrow when I do a show, I'm gonna keep at least 9 Yo Mama jokes, and I'm gonna take them to my computer, and I'm going at it. I'm gonna tape it like right there to the side of my computer. As soon as he say something, like you Florida Evans looking, I'm going at it.
Damn looking.
James.
2018.
Michael. James. Shut up, JJ.
2018. We rolling at Chocolate Sunday, and the first season of Kevin Hart Presents the Next Level, hits the stage. And you was not picked as one of the comics, but you did the warm-up show.
Yeah.
You was and you felt salty about that. I'm gonna put it out there. We knew it. Yeah, you felt, but you came in. You the warm-up guy. Who was on that night? Who was that week? That month was. That episode.
But you know what? I feel like I wasn't ready. I feel like I chose not to do it.
That's what Pookie said.
I said I wasn't ready. I forgot the reason why.
You came and showed your ass in the warm up. Like you make them work. Like if that season was great, it's because every one of them had to come behind you and you was ready. But how was that not making it? And I'm saying not making it, but they brought you in as a warm up. How did that feel you? How did that feel? How did that make you like, okay?
So I just realized, man, like God be protecting me from stuff. I feel like I be wanting so much stuff that I feel like I deserve. But God be like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't your time. Like that ain't your thing, right? I got overlooked for Def Jam like 97 times. Like they brought it back like 9 times, and then the last time Russ got in trouble. And I'm like, God, can I do Def Jam? Like I just want to. And man, but this particular time, I felt like I was supposed to lay the groundwork for when I shot my special. Because when I shot my 30-minute, I had Cousins for Life coming too. And so to have fresh off of Emmy, Cousins for Life, 20 episodes. About the Emmy.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
You got to go back to the Emmy in a second, but go ahead.
Cousins for Life, 20 episodes. I booked a TV show and a movie, and to have a special all in 1 year, it made my visibility more because I feel like the timing was right. Because sometimes we try to rush God's hand, and I know it's going to happen, but I feel like it's almost like YouTube. Like before you start popping, you know you're special, but until everybody get it, like they don't realize. I feel like people don't realize how special I am. Almost like when I don't show up at Chocolate Sundays, people like we miss you. The energy was different because I know that I bring a certain energy that can't be replaced. Are you funnier than me? You might be funnier than me, but the energy that I create in that room, you cannot replace it in any kind of way. So I go by that now. Like I know that I bring a certain level of dopeness and energy to any space, whether it be, business, even with my wife, man. Like I know that I add a certain energy to my household on a personal level, business. So I'm like, if you don't hire me, then you're missing it. You are blocking your own blessing. That's how I got that phrase. I felt like I was overlooked so long. I'm like, I know I'm dope at what I do. This virtual thing we do, like I had to learn how to pivot. And now if you come to the show, you feel like you know me. It all feels like home. Like if I'm not on point, everybody else is off too. But I try to, even if somebody says something stupid, I don't want to tear them down, but I want them to feel love. But you're gonna be respectful to these comics, because you're gonna respect these comics because we work hard to make sure you have a good time, and we go through stuff in our day too. And you over here trying to echo like from the comfort of your own home, but you ain't bold enough to grab a mic and try to do this thing for real. Like we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So my job is like to being a walking icebreaker, because my parents are like that. If you ever meet my parents, you met my dad. My dad would just curse everybody out and then make you laugh at the same time.
We going in there too. Don't worry about them. We about to read them.
Bro, but that's my family.
Right. Love it.
But I get a chance to bring. Go ahead.
But then season 2 comes back around. We get renewed, and you come in, this big ass smile on your face, and you just tell me, "Yo, I got the set. I'm on. I got me a set." And I was like, cool. But I'm gonna tell you something you don't know. That
I might have to tell you the same thing. We might be talking about the same thing, but go ahead.
No. So we get there. So it's like all day. I'm being there since 11 o'clock. It's like about 4 o'clock. And Ron is getting ready to do his practice run. So everybody who came on before him, like you said, was quiet. Whatever they said do, they did. And it's like, okay, thank you. Ron comes up. And this is a testament to you saying you're ready. So Ron comes up. Ron knows about where the tape's supposed to be. He knows where the camera's supposed to be shooting from. He knows this, he knows that. So he's talking. And in my mind, I'm going, what the fuck Ron doing? Shut the fuck up. Like, you got this moment. Like, why are you talking? Like, let them tell you and they do it. But Ron was adamant. He was like, no, I'm about to do this joke. I got to come through right here. I got to come off the stage this way.
You remember that? Yeah.
Listen. He was like, I got to come around here. So I need these 5 chairs moved to the side. I need this and this and that. So I'm hearing in the earpiece, and they're like, this, Ron is making it just it's difficult. So I'm sitting in the back, and I'm looking. I hear them talking, and I'm looking at him, and he can't see me. I'm in the dark. And in my mind, I'm going, Ron, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. But he was so 1,000% right, because everything he said he wanted, they gave it to him. And at the end, it was it worked. And what you showed me was nobody knows your dream but you. Nobody knows what you want to see but you. And you can't let nobody stop you from that moment. And man, when I tell you, the respect level, that's when you became little bro to me. You was always little bro, but that's when I was like, wow, because that could have been, hey, get rid of them, go. But I think what I know what it was everything you said was correct. The words you were using, the terminology, everything. So they couldn't do nothing but give you the respect of, okay, let's try it, because he knows what he's talking about. And man, salute. You and your set was perfect. Like it came off just like you said it was going to be. So I never said that to you, but that day made me go, whenever I walk into some place and I know what the fuck I'm saying, don't never let nobody walk you down, because if you know what you know, nobody can take you from that. And thank you thank you, man. Like, seriously. No joke. That was the dopest shit I ever seen because I was nervous as hell for you because I knew, you know what I mean? It's Kevin Hart. It's Pookie Wigginton. It's major people on the stage. And it was like, yo, Ron came up there and it was like, no, this need to move. I'm going to walk this way. And then you use this camera because you can catch me coming this way. And if you cut it right and you put these people right, we don't have to lose nobody. He broke it all the way down. And at the end, it worked. So, yo. Thank you,
bro. So let me tell you what that show was for me. That show was me becoming I'm a grown man, and I'm at a point now I never not speak my mind, especially when I don't feel heard. But that show, I feel like I became a grown man in this business, and let me tell you why.
Right.
Because I had 2 jokes I wanted to do that I know were big. One was the ATM joke. If you ever seen my ATM joke, it's very animated.
Oh yeah, that's the other part that was
And I have to get lost in the joke. I can't half do the joke because if I don't, it's not gonna work. I got to get lost in the joke. I have to turn my back to the audience, and you have to feel what I'm bringing to life. I was like, you'll be so broke. The broker you are, the more spaced out your beeps are on the ATM. You're like, boop, boop, boop. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I didn't have a wall. So in order to do that joke, usually I have a wall. I didn't have no wall. I literally had the chair, so I had to bring that to life. Also, I had a joke about ladies. You can always tell if a dude's broke by how he tried to get your attention. Because dudes, they got money when they're in the club. They barely move their face when they try to get your attention. They be like, hey, girl. I said, broke dudes, they going to chase you down the street. Like, hey. And so, when I shot the special, I told the guy I was going to walk through the audience. They didn't even air it. But I was like, I'm going to walk off stage. I'm going to go through the audience. I'm like, hey. I'm like walking through 5 people trying to do the joke, like on purpose. Right. But I told him, I'm going to walk off stage. He was like, well, no, can you do it? I'm like, no, listen to me. I have to come off the stage. I have to go through I walked over 6 people in the audience during the show. And I'm stepping over chairs trying to bring the joke of life. Like, just ridiculous. Like, but I know that, and I've done it at Chocolate Sundays where I ran out the door. If you ever see me do that joke, I would be like, hey, girl. And I would walk out the door where the valet is. And I'm like, hey. And people just start screaming, right? So I told him what I was going to do, but I stood up for myself. And I was like, this is what I need to be great. And what I learned as a comic, a lot of times, because we know we got an opportunity and we don't want to mess it up, we don't speak up for ourselves.
Right.
So now, I always speak up myself, make sure I win. Like if you're doing a huge ballroom, let's just say you're doing a ballroom, and people are like, yeah, so when we feed them, we're going to bring you out. No, you're not going to have me perform while Black people are eating. Because when people are eating, they're looking at their plate and they're not paying attention to me. I'll perform before they eat or after they eat. We're not doing that, okay? Also, my name need to be the last thing you say. People that don't know comedy, they'll be like, hey, Ron G is hilarious. He's going to bless us with some comedy tonight. Ron G, like, no, wait till the end, say my name. I said, also, I need the tables to be intimate. Like, it needs to be so crowded where people can't avoid but laughing. Like, laugh right, it works because there's nowhere to run. Like, once somebody laughs next to you, you're going to laugh. You know what I'm saying? So I set the room up to make sure I win. And that was one of those moments where I'm like, I got to speak up for myself. Also, Pookie told me this too. Y'all don't know this, exclusive. Pookie said, hey, we love your energy because people love my energy. We're going to put you up first. So you're going to use my energy to set up other comics so they can win? No. Put me up when I need to go up. I did my time last time because I did warm up. I humbled myself. I said, I'll do warm up. This time, I'll go second. That's the sweet spot. In comedy, usually going second or last is the sweet spot, depending on the length of the show. I said, put me up second. He was like, cool. Put him up second. Clocked in, bro. I've clocked in. So I'm like, you're not going to make me knock the ice off the crowd. Like, I'm not doing it. That's not my job. I did that last year. That's what I did. I'm setting myself up to win, to make sure I do well. I did my time. This is what I'm doing. And I told him, I said, this is what I need. And he was like, I know, but like, no. Listen, this is what, and I'm like, I said, I stand up for myself. And I said, that show, I stood up for myself and I went second. And I felt like I had a great set.
Yeah, you had a wonderful set. It moved the crowd, and actually it still broke the ice because the person in front of you did good, but you broke the ice because you was in that crowd, like you said. You set a tone that was perfect for the person coming behind you. It was like, yes. Was it Takara?
Takara went first, and then it was somebody else, and then it was me. Was it T-Murph? Maybe T-Murph?
T-Murph. Yeah,
T-Murph. It was Takara, T-Murph, and then me, and then Marvin. But I said, like, as an artist, man, you always got to set yourself up to win. Never take something just because it's given to you. If you need to speak up and say you need something, whether it be lighting or a certain kind of microphone or whatever, if they paying you to be there, like as I said, I know I'm a blessing. When I show up to a comedy show, if you don't put me up, people are going to miss out. I know I'm dope at what I do. I will change the whole environment of a show. I can make a room from zero to 1,000 just by me showing up. And I had to learn how to do that. But now it's like, I get paid to change the vibe. And if you don't pay me that, then you don't want a good show. If you want to cut corners and get somebody cheaper who is half my rate, do that. But they ain't gonna be remembered. Like, you're gonna remember me. Even if I'm not the funniest, you're gonna remember and have discussion about my set. Promise you.
Dope.
Like when I do the work husband joke, people gonna have some dialogue on the way home. You're gonna talk about me on the way home.
Right. So let's talk about the Emmy. How'd that come about? Writing.
Man.
Now this ain't got comedy. This is writing, y'all. This is purely writing. So tell me how that call come through, how that come in, and when you heard about that, what was the feeling for that one?
So I don't know how many comics are on here, but as a comic, listen, we're all gonna take jobs that we don't necessarily want. This particular job, I took a job. This guy wanted me to host a music festival, and it was a 3-day festival. The money wasn't good, but I knew it was going to be at least 1,000 people in the audience every day. So I got exposure, even though the money wasn't right. I said, I'll do it. So on that Saturday, one of the acts took a long time to come out, and the DJ didn't come out. And I had to do about a hot 20 minutes. He was like, just stall until we get that artist up. Cool. I'm giving it to him, because the Friday night crowd was different from the Saturday night crowd. I'm giving them the money set. I'm giving it to them, right? People screaming. Right. DJ come out. Hey, y'all ready for the next act? They bring him out. I get a call on Monday. The showrunner from the show I did on CNN, he was like, yo, I saw you at the music festival, man. You did a great job, bro. He said, listen, we're doing this cool show on CNN. We're looking for a consulting producer for the show on CNN. We need a young black comic who understands the voice of the host that can, write some funny, partner with him, travel with him. We traveling for like 8 weeks. We need somebody, who's, easy to work with, that can travel and write for the show. I tell you, this show changed my life, bro. It was literally the year that Trump got elected. And the CNN show is called United Shades of America. So literally everybody he hated, we're going traveling around the world to see firsthand all these things. We did one on Muslims in America. We did one on immigration, where I didn't know that, when people come here illegal, they stay literally in a holding cell, not a prison, where there's no activities. In prison, you can play cards, you can, talk to your family, you can get study, you can have books. It's just a building, just an empty building in the middle of nowhere. So even if you found a lawyer who would do your case pro bono, it's a 6-hour round trip to go there, help the family, and then come back. They have places like this all over the country, and nobody knows about it. We're doing ones on Muslims in America, and there's like a safe place in Detroit, outside Detroit, where you have these Muslims, and then even in their culture, it's like LGBT, but they get shunned from their own people, so they have to. I met a lady who was a trans woman, but she took in a bunch of trans people who were immigrants, who own people didn't look after them, so she would raise these I don't know the correct way to say it. I don't want to say the wrong gender. Raise these trans teens, and love on them and raise them, because their own community would like shun them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much nuance to immigration and stuff like that. And it was like, even Christian, some countries are very Christian, but even when it comes down to freedom, they shun people. And it's like, why would you shun these same people who just want freedom and to be seen and heard? Matter of fact, this is the big one. They had a alt-right center. So, I don't know if y'all know what the alt-right is. Remember that guy, Richard Spencer? He was a white alt-right, pro-white guy who got punched in the face that time. Yeah. So they had a alt-right convention at the Reagan Center, which is in DC. This is like the year Trump was getting elected. Basically a whole room full of white people who hate people of color and black people, right? They want to be basically old school America, right? They had a whole conference talking about how terrible black people are and brown people are, and how we make the property value go down in the world. And the only black people who were there was the people serving food, doing security, and me.
Oh,
wow.
It's I'm there for 5 hours hearing these people talk bad about people of color. And then I'm taking notes upstairs, and I was about to cry, because these people just trying to live, we're serving them food. Black people just serving them food, and then the security guards were watching them inside a government building while they were talking about making this nation all white. And I'm writing notes, and I'm interviewing these guys, and this is when I realized that this world is a subculture. So all these alt-right people, part of their mission is to go on social media and troll you. That's why when you type in Black Lives Matter, you'll instantly have a troll. It'll be some cartoon icon or something like that will troll you. Like a part of their mission to disrupt the system is to, when you type in Black Lives Matter or anything, stop police brutality, they will go on and troll you. And yeah, so I'm there and we interviewed them and we were like, why are you here? Why are you part of this? And the guy was like, every guy there was like, they look like the uncool kids in school. They all look like the uncool cornball white kids in school. But in this environment, they had a voice. They were heard and they felt like they were a part of something bigger than them. And to see that, I'm like, oh, this is fashionable. This is like, you don't really hate black people, but in this environment, you have a voice. It felt like it was just weird, bro. But like, just to be a part of that, it made my voice different, which is why I came up with the gentrification joke. And then my voice started to change where now I'm talking about social issues. I'm talking about police brutality. And I never did that before. My wheelhouse is
family,
fish out of water comedy, family, and relationship stuff. But that's when I started doing the gentrification. That's how I came up with the black women can isolate. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I came up with that stuff, because I was like, I got to talk about this stuff. It's too prevalent watching people get killed every day. And then I'm talking about this stuff. It don't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So then when you got the call that y'all was nominated and then actually won, how did that feel?
It was bittersweet because they got a chance to go. It was the showrunner and the host. They actually got they got the actual statue. I got a certificate, but it was signed by the head of the Emmy commission or whatever. So I have the actual frame of the certificate. I wish I had an actual trophy, but I'll get one day.
I hear you. For your own name. So
yeah,
that's a great thing.
I'll get it.
So then after that Chocolate Sunday, you get another call. And it's a role for Insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful role. Perfect role. How did you get that? Did you write on that? Was that, a lot of you putting that? Or was that they let you, let you be Ron? Or was that just, how did that come about?
I am thoroughly impressed by your questions, bro. I am like so emotional right now. Y'all have no idea what I've been through, like, to get to this point. Like, I've been doing this for so long. Y'all have no idea. The amount of times I have not been seen or heard or feel ignored or feel like, because I'm clean, like I don't, man. Anyway, Insecure.
Wait, before you start that. One night from Chocolate Sunday, we leave Chocolate Sunday, and I'm getting to my car, and everybody know I park on the sidewalk.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm going to my car, and I'm loading up, and Ron walks up. And it was a good show. So I'm like, all right, Ron, you know what you're doing? And he was like, yo, he was just down. I'm like, what's wrong? He was like, man, no, I know who came through. What's his name? Carmichael. What's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Carmichael. What is his first name? Gerard. Gerard came through, and he just got that TV show. He was hot at that moment. He was dropping things. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you came out, and you was down. And I'm like, what's wrong? He was like, man, it just seems like everybody's getting on, and like, where's my time at? And we took an hour to talk, and I told him, I said, yo, your time is not here yet. It's coming. Believe me. Like, you see people. I have seen Kevin Hart do first impressions, beg Pookie to get on stage, and go into who he is now. I've seen a lot of comments come through. No, seriously, like begging to get on stage, first impressions, happy to do 3 minutes at any given time to come to a point where now he can buy the club. Like, it's just done. So I was telling Ron, like, yo, you got all the elements. Just chill. It's coming. I promise you. And I swear to God, he was like a good month. You was down because you just broke up a dream, Dream Snatcher. That whole shit came.
Hilarious.
Always like a lot of negative was coming at that moment for you. And when I say everything turned around, that's why when I was doing this today, I was laughing the whole time I was doing it, because I'm like, look at my man. This is my little bro. And just to see these things that all of us, Lonnie, everybody seen you go through, you never pay attention to. Now I'm sitting here writing, and I'm like, wow, like he all in front of us. So come on, tell me about it. Let's go. How did you going with Issa Rae, all black show, very responsible and Emmy black show, and they come to Ron and say, hey, we want you to do this part, which was a very, very big part for something that was so small, but it was so major. Was that you? Like, how much did you put in that? How was that feeling? How was it rolling with
I'm going to try not to cry right now. I'm gonna be cool, because I'm going to tell you what happened. I remember this moment so clear, because this was a time where Rail got his show, Takara got her show.
Right.
And Lonnie was like, when you gonna do something? And when I tell you I had nothing going on, when I tell you I had nothing, I didn't have no auditions.
We'll take Lonnie,
I didn't have nothing. And I don't know about y'all, but when somebody asks you a question, like, it's almost like that, when you gonna get married? Everybody else getting married? Why you can't get married? It's like, when you gonna find somebody? It was like that question, but with your career. That feeling was such a dagger because she asked in front of everybody. And I'm watching all my close friends take off. And I never speak ill of them because I don't believe, their blessing is their blessing. But sometimes I'd be like, God, do you see me? Like, God, I'm here. I'm doing the work. I worked on my blind spots. I've been acting for 7 years. Like, I've really been going. I pay my acting coach every audition. Like, literally every audition I go because I can't afford to go to class because I'm working all the time. I pay him every audition. I perform 3 times a day. I've traveled the world, you know what I'm saying, to the point where I'm like, I did 100 colleges in 1 year. Like, my life fell apart. And I was like, I need to find my wife. I want to be married and have some sense of home. To have a life with a bunch of trophies and no memories, like, that's not worth it. I want to have memories and I want to have trophies and I have my wife with me, right? So I remember I auditioned for Insecure. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, you have 1,000 auditions and nothing happens. Like, you like, this is stupid, right? Bro, I'm at the Comedy House Theater in South Carolina, hometown, headlining. Friday, I think Thursday night. I was supposed to do the show Thursday night. I get there Thursday night. I get a call. Hey, you booked Insecure. I'm like, wait.
What?
No, I flew in on Wednesday. My first show that weekend was Thursday through Sunday, right? They called me Wednesday night and they was like, hey, can you come to LA tomorrow to shoot Insecure? I'm like, what's my call time? It was like 5 p.m. Say less. I called the comedy club. I said, look, I know this is very unprofessional, but I booked a TV show on HBO and I gotta go. And they was like, well, we need you this weekend. I'm like, listen, HBO will perform at a comedy club. I'm going to LA. Went to LA, bro. And to go on set, I don't know if any of y'all are entertainers or not, but to be a person of color and sit in that hair and makeup and you see there's black people, all black people in hair and makeup, I don't know if y'all know what that experience is like. To be on a set. Bro, most of the shows I've done, I've been the only black person on set. And there's always some old white lady with one of those brushes with the little balls on the end. It's like a very non-brother friendly brush. This lady, one time, she brushed my mohawk forward. And she was like, I know how to do your hair. I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm like, ma'am, you brushing my mohawk forward. What are you doing? But to go on that set and see all black people, black director, black cameraman, black hair and makeup, craft service, the person knocking on your door and say, we get ready in 5 minutes. Like, all black people. For me, it's like being a part of history because I already love the show. And to know that you're going to be a part of history is such a great feeling. Right. Then when I saw the scene, because I didn't find out I had to do the fingering scene until I got on set. And I was like, wait, what? Did that say? wait. This wasn't an audition. Like, wait, hold on. And I looked at it. I was like, I'm doing this? I just met my wife, too. I think I just met her, too. And I was like, cool. I got some explaining to do when I get home. Tell my lady when this come out. Might be a little awkward. But yeah, man, I did that scene, and Natasha, she is so brilliant. Like, she every time she on camera, she's still a scene in that show. So to be opposite of one of the funniest people on the show, to me, it was legendary.
Y'all chemistry was so dope. I was hoping they was gonna write you in as her boyfriend because y'all two playing off each other. It just seemed perfect. Your look to her look, the look y'all gave each other, it was phenomenal.
Wouldn't that just make too much sense? But also, you remember she did the episode when she's running the marathon? Because I wasn't there, I'm like, they're not going to add me back. Because I was like, I should be there when she finished running the marathon to congratulate her or whatever. But after that, that's when Cousins for Life happened. That's why I was like, you can't be down about what doesn't happen. To do 20 episodes on a TV show, your first series regular.
Wait, hold up. We going there too.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
My voice go down.
That's why I'm debt free. I paid all my bills off because of that show.
You still running. You still got the hottest show in LA. 2 nights, 2 7 and 9. And then all of a sudden, here come Nickelodeon. The kid who don't have no kids gets a Nickelodeon show, Cousins for Life, as a dad. I'm like, what? When he told me this shit, I looked at him like, come on. You doing what? So tell me how that come about.
Bro, when I tell you I was in that audition, I remember being there because the 2 guys went before me were dads on TV when I was in high school. Seasoned actors, right? Like been on TV for a long time. And I'm watching them, and I'm in the audition. And as an actor, you got to learn how to hear. Like acting is learning how to hear, because whatever they give you, you got to give them back. Even if you have something playing in your head, if they whisper, you have to respond back in a whisper. You can't be like, "What are you talking about?" You got to be like, "Why are we talking like this?" Like you got to listen. So in the audition, I'm in the audition room. The guy goes in before me. He was like, the line was like, "Why would you do that? Go to your room." The guy was like, "What are you doing, Leaf? Go to your room." The guy that came in before me, another guy went in. He was like, "What are you doing, Leaf? Go to your room." On Nickelodeon, the kids have to win. The kids have to win on a kids' TV show. The kids are the smartest people on the show. If you ever watch a Disney or Nickelodeon show, the parents are goofy, out of touch, and the kids are the smart ones. I was like, okay.
Right.
They yelled at the kid. Let me tell you what I won't do. Won't yell at him. I went in, I was like, and I, my what's going on, literally doing that, facial expressing. I'm like, "What are you doing, Leaf? Go to your room." Casting director was like, "That's nice. Do it one more time." I'm like, "What are you doing, Leaf? Go to your room." Get a call back. You booked it. I'm like, "Wait, I booked what?" They was like, "A dad on Nickelodeon." I was like, "But I don't look like a dad. I look like a, I don't." They was like,
older brother.
"We'll figure it out." I was Danny Tanner every day. They put sweaters on me. I was straight Danny Tanner. But listen, man, that opportunity was so cool because it showed me. Let me tell you something. This cool thing about God. He gave me that opportunity to learn how to be a leading man. As a leading man, you have to learn how to be effective and not move it all on camera. If you watch Denzel and watch people like Al Pacino or Michael B. Jordan, like the leading men, they're very still on camera. When you watch them, it's literally their face. I'm like, how do you yell at somebody and don't move your face? If you watch Denzel, he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to you," and he doesn't move. That show taught me how stillness in comedy. So because I didn't have any funny lines, I had to figure out how can I get my laugh, because I'm a comedian. I want to be funny. How can I get my laughs without being animated, right? Because I'm a physical comedian. So when the kid's talking to me, literally my reactions, what's going on, every time they said something like, "Hey, Dad, I just bought a goat." I'm like, crowd is laughing. They say cut, everybody started laughing. "Hey, Dad, I just bought a goat." Excuse me? You did, excuse me, you bought did you say a boat? "No, Dad, I bought a goat." Wait, I'm learning how to be funny and be still at the same time, which is leading men. That's what leading men learn how to do. So this opportunity was like a masterclass in learning how to act and be still, also in directing. Because every 2 weeks on a sitcom, I didn't know this, they having a new director. So while the kids are getting taught, because this is their first time acting, I would go out there and watch the directors give them notes. I'm like, oh, so I'm learning how to direct, I'm getting paid to learn how to act, and I'm learning stillness as an actor at the same time. I'm like, okay, God, I see the setup. And made a lot of money, my dumb butt, because I ain't never made money before. I saved every dime. I was living off comedy money, and I was saving that money. So when I had to pay these taxes, bro, I should have bought a Tesla, my dumb butt. I had to pay so much money back in taxes. I don't know if y'all ever made over 6 figures before. When you make a certain amount, you get I paid somebody's salary. It was, I paid I cut a big check for taxes, and they was like, "Nope, we need some more." And I was like, oh my God, I need to buy a boat or hide some money overseas in a shell company or something. Yeah. Because the amount of money I had to pay, but I didn't know. This is my first time making real bread, but paid my bills off. I remodeled my place because I wanted my wife to be in a brand new home. Like I wanted to feel like it was her home. I paid for our wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, whoa. What we'll talk about that too. Relationships.
You be scaring me, bro. I don't know how much I can talk. Okay.
Yeah. You be going. You moving so low. I'm gonna tell this story too. Y'all didn't know this about this story. Ron was real down. He got dumped. He was depressed. He was crying against walls.
I didn't get dumped. I broke up with her 7 times.
Okay, it's my story, not yours. He got dumped. So I was like, look, Ron, fuck. I got a sister, right? I got a sister. She's single. She's cute. I'm going to hook y'all up. I'm going to let y'all talk. I'm like, yo, I'm saying, like, I'll bring her up here. So I brought sis up here, right?
Baby, he ain't here lying on us.
I'm like,
he ain't here lying on us.
How did you meet sis? How old that situation?
This fool said he introduced you to me. I know I got food on me. I'm sorry.
What?
I was
he
like,
said you
I said I brought you up there, sis.
Hold on.
He was all down. I said, yo, sis, I got somebody you meet. He's a cool guy. He's funny. He's clean cut. He know all his parents. You know, he got all his teeth. So make sure you know how to match. He know how to match denim with you know. He know how to match the denim right. So yo, I hooked them up. Everlasting. They got married, and I was a DJ. I mean, they had a dope ass DJ for their wedding that just killed the game. But that's all lies, y'all. How did you meet sis? I mean, I know you was like, you know, we.
Yo, this is so crazy. Do you know?
Yes.
So I met my wife at Chocolate Sundays.
Right.
This place, I didn't even think about that. All the great things that happened in this building.
At Chocolate Sunday.
So,
I know. That's what.
We had a mutual friend who used to always come to the show. And one night, the whole squad, the Wakanda crew came. And the girl was like, yeah, you need to meet my friend. And I was like, she just walked off. This is at the let out. She's
That's
like,
what I said.
y'all two need to talk. Y'all need to talk. Can y'all hear me? I took my earpiece out. Sorry.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she was like, y'all need to meet, and just walked off. So we standing over there by the little valet thing. And I'm like, hey, what's your name? What's your sign? Oh, you got plans. Oh, I do too. Right? And so I'm talking to her. She's like, where my sister at? I'm like,
all right, Bruno.
Oh, you got plans. So I'm like, what's up? And she was like, I got to find my sister. I'm like, I'm trying to talk to you. Let's talk. And she was like, I got to find my sister. I'm like, your sister ain't going to leave you. Meanwhile, she had to go. So I got her DM and then I got her phone number. And that night, I wanted to talk to her. That's why I had a joke about like women be like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That same night, I thought we had a cool connection. I wanted to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm country. Country people, we like to talk, right? So I'm trying to call her that night. And she called me thirsty because I wanted to talk to her that night. I'm like, if I got a good vibe, what's wrong with me trying to talk to you? But apparently in LA, if you call a girl the same night you meet her, you are thirsty.
Yeah, right. I don't understand it, but okay.
Yeah, apparently in LA, if you call a girl the same night you meet her, you thirsty. And I was like, well, look, I'm practicing good habits. You play like you practice. Because I'm sure if we dating or married and I took a day off, you're going to have a problem with it. So let me show you this is what I do. So I called her and I enjoyed talking to her. And I wanted to stay up talking to her all night. She went to a little hookah spot, being out there in these streets, in these little LA streets, at a hookah spot. And I was like, we need to talk. Yeah.
Right.
She to my am. Out here being a whore and a half. That's my new phrase, whore and a half. Yeah, but we started talking, man. But I was transitioning, trying to figure my life out because I was still bouncing back from neck tears. The neck tears assassin.
But one thing about Ron, if you know Ron is about love. Ron is love. Ron is not. He called himself a hoe in the streets. He ain't a hoe in the streets. Ron is.
Oh, I was. It's a few women out here in LA know my secrets.
Yeah.
It's a few, not many.
I'm trying to make you look good. Let me do this. I'm trying to make you look good.
No, but I know what I was doing because this thing, when my star started rising, I started losing my privacy, and that was important to me because you can, chocolate sunnies, bro. I can have anybody in the room if I want to, but I was like, they didn't value my privacy. One time I got this girl phone number, and before I got home, this girl hit me. She was like, I heard you with my friend tonight. I was like, who? She was like, so and so. I was like, I just gave her my number. You told already? You'll never. Because you don't value my privacy. That's not what I need. So, the ones that was, the ones that know my secrets. It was like some steady ones. It was ones that was like, I trust them with my secrets. But in general, people gonna screenshot and tell you business. I don't like all that.
So how do you know sis wasn't one? How you know sis wasn't one? What was that point that you was like,
things. One, so my wife is African, and they have this thing where she not that kind. Who is this nigga?
Make sure we knew what we talk about when we say African.
Yeah. So honestly, when I met her, I had a hard time seeing her because she used to work 6 days a week, and I had one day to see her, and my one day was like chocolate Sundays. I'm like, when I'm gonna see you? And she was like, well, I have to work an extra day because I need to send money home to my family. And I was like, family who? And she was like, I don't know who it is. I'm just supposed, my community, we always send money to our family. I'm like, you sending money to family that you don't even know? And I can't see you? Let me tell you something. As a Black American, if you ask me for $20, I got questions. Where is it going and what you about to spend it on? You better not spend it on no drugs. That's what you're not gonna do. She's sending money to family that she never met before. And I was like, how dope is that? How selfless is that to send money to people that you don't know because it's your duty as a part of your community to do so? Also, she's the first woman I ever dated. that when we argued, I still felt loved. I never had that before because I was dating little wounded birds and wounded birds, or I don't know if you ever try to rescue an animal, but if you're trying to be kind to a rescue animal, they'll try to attack you because they think you're trying to hurt them like everybody else, right? So I've dated girls who like go from 0 to 1,000. They have good hearts and they love God, but they have heart issues. And I'm a fixer by nature because of how I was raised. I want to make sure everybody's good, and I'm mama's little man. And if I don't do it, then who in the family will do it? I got to make sure everybody's good, right? I used to always date people like that. But what I learned is when you're fixing people, you don't have time to work on yourself. And I was postponing my stuff, trying to be a fixer to everybody else. And I realized I was getting torn apart too, because my ex, I'm saying my ex, but the last girl I dated, I wound up in therapy. Because if people aren't committed to their own health and you try to fix them, you become God in their life. And God is a jealous God. And he'll remind you that you're not God by making it all fall apart. You know?
There you go.
But when I met my wife was, we had an argument one time. And I remember we were coming from the Target on Santa Monica. I was on the phone with her sister, and her sister was like, I'm sick. And I was like, I'll get her a blanket or something like that. But I was saying it because I was like, that's what you're supposed to do. But she's like, are you going to go get it? And I was like, I'll go get it. And she's like, well, why would you say that if you're not going to do it? And I was like, well, I was going to get it, but I didn't know if she was whatever. And she was like, anyway, let me tell you something. She said, don't ever do something for me if you don't mean it, ever. Like, don't do that. I don't work like that. Like, do it because you want to. Do it because you love me. Do it, whatever. Don't do stuff if you don't mean it. And say what she had to say, real firm, and said, I still love you, but if you got something else to say, let me know. Grab my arm while we was driving and start looking straight. When I tell you my ego and pride wanted to say something back just because I wanted to have the last word, like my ego and pride was like, nigga, you gotta say something. But I was like, you know what? This doesn't feel good, but I have to be an adult because she showed me, she said what she had to say in love. And literally the only reason why I respond is because of pride or ego. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, let me kill that. Let me kill that. And also, that was the beginning of me realizing, you can have somebody dope and you can have disagreements and still feel loved.
Right.
Also,
hoes don't make soup.
Hoes don't make soup. Hoes don't make soup. No, but also I feel like
it's so true.
They don't make soup. They're good for selfies and restraining orders, but you don't want them.
Right. They don't do so. Right. No, go ahead.
But I feel like every argument you have is either over pride, ego, or fear. Like every time you argue, it's either pride, ego, or fear. And my wife, she just know how to make her house a home, man. And I always felt love when I was with her. And she just got me. She just really got me and had my back. And I was like, this is different. And my wife is funny, bro. Like, she's hilarious. At home, she is so goofy, bro. Like, all my little toolbox of tricks I used to get women from being charming to being funny, it didn't work with her. And it made me feel naked. And it was kind of scary. Because I had to, like, literally show up naked with my heart instead of trying to be funny and laughing through stuff because she didn't need that. And she was solid. And I was like, this feels so uncomfortable and scary. That's why I always do the joke about women make you the best version of yourself. If y'all, please look at my last post on Instagram. Please look at my last post on Instagram because it explains why I got this theory. Good women make you the best version of yourself, and you don't get no days off because they're going to see cracks in you and the things that you don't do. They're going to see your blind spots every day and remind you without your permission. They're going to remind you, even if it's just y'all like that. Y'all like, okay, so why are you doing it this way? You like, well, babe, this is how that's how you always been doing it, but why are you doing it this way? You know what I'm saying? And y'all y'all refine us to be such a better version of ourselves that it's almost uncomfortable because every day y'all checking us on something. And it's not a bad thing because the only thing you have to worry about is your tone. Because if a man give you his heart and your tone is right, he'll give you everything you want. That's why it's like, if God get down low, because I feel like y'all feminine energy gives you access to God, and God gonna give you stuff every day. That's why your intuition always be right. He gonna give you access. But if your tone is wrong when you deliver the message, you're gonna lose the man. That's why I was like, if you perfect your tone while God is talking to you and deliver it to the guy who offers you his heart, you'll always have access to him, and God will make sure you do right by you. God will make sure that he do right by you if your tone is right. If that makes sense.
There you go.
But sometimes you can miss it because sometimes y'all be dead right, but y'all tone be wrong. And man, our ego is the most fragile thing in the house.
Always. So y'all getting ready for this wedding. Y'all got the date, and then y'all had to pick the dope ass DJ. I mean, I know it was a dope conversation, and y'all was like, Kid Capri, nah, he too whack. Funk Master Flex, no, we need your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. So I come aboard as the DJ to Sis and Bro's wedding, and let me tell you, when the family came down and we had the family dinner.
Toxic, bro.
His mother and his father, like all you could do is say, "I see why you're funny." Both, I love them both. They both dear.
My family got no filter. They got no filter.
None. Pops.
I am the saved version of my dad. If y'all meet my dad, my dad literally has no filter. Like,
Pops was sitting at the table. He said, "Shit, babe, get my shit to go. I'm leaving right now."
I said, "Dad, this is a rehearsal dinner." He's like, I said, "Dad, this is a rehearsal." He's like, "Y'all niggas gonna try to, I gotta practice walking? I know I'm a grown man. I know how to walk." I'm like, "Dad, it's a rehearsal dinner for the wedding where you have to walk a certain kind of." He's like, "Nigga, tell me how to walk and where I need to go. You got me sitting here eating the whole dinner over walking? Ain't no walking class."
He got up and left. He took an Uber back to the hotel.
Left the restaurant because they didn't have no crown. Left the restaurant because they didn't have no crown.
That's right. He wanted a crown.
We got some crown. We got some crown in the car, so I had to bring it inside to keep my dad to stay, like to make him stay. But matter of fact, I only had the vanilla crown, and he only drank the original, the organic kind.
He was
like, "Nigga, I can't drink this sweet stuff, nigga. I need my regular stuff. I need the purple bag." I was like, "Oh my god."
Wedding was great, but
you made it great, bro.
Yo, thank you. That was, I mean,
you made it amazing, bro.
It was a natural, great feeling in there. Like even setting up everything, it was like, okay, this is gonna be a great day. But I'm sorry, y'all two was not the star of the show. Yo, Pops, when I dropped, what was it, Maze or somebody?
Somebody said vanilla crown is delicious. Oh, damn, you know my jokes. I don't know. Oh, that's my dad joke. Hold on, were you saying that for you? Were you saying that for you? Or are you saying my joke? Recording my joke.
I genuinely love it.
Oh, okay. So I have a joke. My dad says the liquor is delicious, and you said vanilla crown is. I was like, thought you was remixing the joke. That's so funny.
Pops got on the dance floor and murdered everybody. Like made everybody move out the way. And you have the video for that. I was trying to find it so I could play it.
Oh, I got it. So listen, my dad. He's a strange fellow. So he
didn't want to be at the beginning party, but he closed the wedding down. He was like, no.
So my dad has no middle. He has no middle. He's the quiet. If he ain't drinking, he's the quietest, kindest man. He'll cook you breakfast, give you 19 pieces of bacon, crispy, just how you like it, extra butter, like with the grits. Like, he's a great cook. He got that, and he got nigga, where the party at? And when I tell you, my dad had a whole 19-piece suit on. He had vest, jacket, cummerbund, suspenders.
Took it all off one at a time.
Bro, he looked like a whole pallbearer having a. He was dressed like a pallbearer vice principal with a 19-piece suit on, dancing and stole the show. And I'm like, how do you go from this dude to dance? And when my dad can dance. My dad, he can dance. Like he's a great dancer.
Party his ass off.
He has no middle. I literally have to give you a pep talk before you come to my parents' house, because if I don't, you can be like, first of all, why is he cursing at your mom? We should call the cops. But they curse at each other, and that's what they do, and it's their agreement, so I have to stay out of it. And then mid-conversation, he'll just fall asleep, and then when he wake up, he'll just start dancing for no reason in the living room. It's a lot. It's a lot, and he'll cuss me out and then go back to sleep. It's a lot happening, and I have to explain. My wife has been there the whole time, and I couldn't. When she saw it, I was like, I couldn't protect him or her. Like I was like, this is what it is. Like, yeah. When I talk about toxic couples, and I think my parents be arguing, like I'm not even joking. They would be like, F you too. They ain't no regular word. F you too then. Whatever, you heifer, you mammy, you bastard, whatever. You don't tell me what to do. Bye, nigga. Whatever. Bye, nigga. You don't tell me. Bye. I'm like, what she say? Oh, she going to the store. She be right back. How did we get here? But that's my family, man. But let me give you your flowers too, bro. Like my wedding was incredible. Like for you to be able to play cultural music, to make us feel so welcome. Like it felt like it was literally the best wedding I've ever been to. And I'm not saying it just because it was mine, but the vibe was so cool. And I think too, when two good people get married and you know it's right versus a wedding, like you'll go to a wedding, you know it ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
It's just a little something like you like, I'm gonna go for the entertainment. But like literally our wedding was incredible. Like the food was right, the timing was right. You know, you go to a wedding and the food ain't ready, so you sitting there hungry and starving, waiting on them to come out. We decided to take pictures before the wedding, so people didn't have to wait after for us to take the pictures. We was being considerate. My wife planned all that out. But as soon as we got done, we changed clothes a little bit, freshened up, and came down. Less than 15 minutes. Sidekick making everybody dance. Freaking whole virtual chocolate Sundays after party at my wedding before the wedding started. They sweating before the food come out. Appreciate you. But he did a great job, man. So salute to you for making my special day special, man.
I wouldn't change it. I love being there. So wait, where's Sis at? Is she right there? Can we bring Sis out?
Baby, she probably never come on camera though.
Why? Tell her brother.
You know, women be doing stuff. Baby, can you come off camera? Sidekick want to say something to you. Sidekick? Yeah.
Yes, me. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, she right here. She's not coming on camera.
Come here.
She's not coming on camera. I'm telling you, she's not coming.
Oh,
I wish.
Well, right. Ron would not be standing here right now if he was naked. So,
I'm sorry. Here we go. So you ever meet them old black women who be like, they don't come to the door unless they already, got they together? That's my wife.
Right. Okay, got it.
So my wife is she don't leave out the house. It's not a game. Like she don't play. Even her dress down will be like, okay.
You don't let me get on with shorts on.
Oh, you can't show your knees. You can't show your knees around here. So y'all get married, beautiful marriage, and then y'all break out with this IG show called Couples Couch on IG. That's why I want her to come talk about it because y'all both do this. So how did that come about? And y'all still doing it, right? Season 2, season 3, what we on?
We had to take some time off. We had a death in the family. My schedule got crazy. I had some traveling going on, shot a TV show. And we still got to do the finale because we got money we need to give away. So hopefully, that burger's so cold. I was trying to, Yvonne Clowner, this burger's so cold right now. I didn't want to be chewing on camera, but I definitely need to eat. So we'll figure it out.
Go ahead.
But
so how did you insist about that? How did that come about?
You want to talk about it?
What?
She's so funny. My God, my wife's so funny.
Wait, I was dancing.
Oh no, because I got to interview her because she kind of coming for your job.
Tell them about Couples Couch.
So Couples Couch is where me and Ron talk about us and other couples, and we interview other couples, and we have a great time, and we get lit.
Basically.
That's the show right there.
Yeah, but the Q&A, I feel like, so we initially started doing the questions, the game show, which was so much fun, but it was so much work, and couples would cancel on us the day before, and it would make me so mad. We would stay up literally every Thursday night and customize questions, because a lot of people questions were couples that we knew, and so we would kind of ask them stuff that, like a couple questions that we kind of knew, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they would cancel the day before, and so like the last few episodes, people would cancel, and like it's hard to find another couple because apparently everybody can't find no babysitter even when they don't have kids. Like, I ain't got no babysitter. I'm like, you ain't got no kids. I know, but I'm like, how you busy during quarantine? Ain't nobody got nothing. The outside is closed.
Nothing to do. Right.
Everybody's busy. Down. I'm like, y'all freaking weird. So, but then we started doing Q&A, and Q&A was one of my favorite parts because I post a lot of those videos, and it made me like get closer to my wife because I felt like we would discuss our journey in front of everybody, but we would remind each other why we chose each other. And sometimes you know what you do, but you don't ever talk out loud why you do what you do. Like party time. I know you and your lady love each other. And y'all pull up every Sunday, and I appreciate y'all energy and party time.
My favorite couple's favorite couple. That's what I call him.
And his posture is so great. Like he be like
the whole show.
He got gymnast posture. He like right here with it. He be like, and come back. But listen, like but I just realized, like, man, like, you love your person, but sometimes when you say it out loud or why you chose that person, it reminds you of those moments. Like, we all do a lot of stuff in life. Like, some of y'all love y'all kids, but if you have your kids tell you why they love you, it'll make you, like, it remind you that you're human. So we sitting here sharing our moments of why we chose each other, all the junk we went through and the headaches and all our little hiccups that we did in our relationship. And, like, I feel like it made us closer, but also it showed us another community of people, like, of young, dope couples who have great relationships too that nobody talk about, because I feel like toxic couples are the loudest ones, but the couples that are happy, like party time, they quiet. You don't hear from them.
Quiet.
I don't even know what it's sound like.
No, they talk shit on the chat in the chat room, but their shit is talking positive. It's on
but I don't even know what he sound like, but they look peaceful, like peaceful couples.
right.
They don't be loud like that. They just be enjoying each other. They don't have time to be toxic.
What's so crazy? Just like you and Sis, they look like they meant to be together. Like they don't have to say a word. You just look at them and you go, yeah, I like. They give you a vibe, a feeling that you like. Yeah, I like.
Hey,
that.
this is how they make up in an argument. They be like, "Your plate in the microwave," and just walk off. They look like that couple. You done arguing?
I knew
you done?
she loved me. I knew she
plate
loved
in the
me.
microwave and just walk off.
So now, y'all start a show together, but then y'all start working together. I'm, you little bro, so I pay attention to everything you do.
Jeez,
I gotta check on you.
I am so impressed by you, bro.
Oh wait. So, Ryan, in the pandemic, one thing you know about Ron can't stay still. He can't. He won't sit. He won't sit down for long. On Sundays, he'll sit for 2 seconds, and then you be like, "Where Ron? Ron gotta move. He's that type of person." So see, that's how much I know you.
I'm ordering some
food. You gotta be doing something. Yeah, gotta be doing something. He drops this. What's going on? Peace.
Oh man.
Phenomena. Like, and the first one, I was like, "What the fuck is Ron doing?" But about the fifth one, you like, you be waiting for him. So where did that come from? How did that? What? Before I get back to sis.
Kid, I am so emotional right now. This is so crazy. Let me tell you why, because I'm saying out loud stuff I did, but I never knew that people noticed, right? So we started doing couples couch. I'm gonna back up. I started doing couples couch because all my friends were doing like twerk showcases with girls and stuff. And I'm like, me and my lady, we love watching twerking. We enjoy that. But I was like, I want to do something cool where I can create my platform and just create something cool for people who just ain't into twerking, but just still want to have fun.
Right.
That's why I came up with couples couch. I was like, and the single people was showing up. They was like, yo, this show is great. Y'all need to do a singles couch. And I'm like, well, that would be a love seat. And I was like, it'd be a love seat by yourself. It'd be a by yourself love seat. It'd be a recliner.
We can't do that, right? We're talking to you now. We're therapists, right?
Yeah, it'd be like recliner couch. It'd be just you and the recliner. Just relax.
So, Ron, what do you feel about it?
Right, but then I was like, I gotta find my thing on social media because I was editing these videos straight 2 hours trying to edit a video and get 14 likes. I'm like, this is stupid. And then they came up with Reels, and I was like, let me try this Reels thing. And I was like, everybody was doing a side by side. Everybody do, because if you notice me, I don't like doing stuff people like to do. That's why I'm like, if a comedian accuses me of cheating, I'm like, bro, I hate doing stuff people like to do. The way I talk about relationships and my level of vulnerability, you don't hear that nowhere in life. I do that on purpose, but I'm like, that's my gift. My vulnerability is literally my gift that God gave me, where I'm comfortable in my skin, even in my mess. Neck tears, what grown man talk about crying? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I talk about my vulnerability because, again, that's the thing that God gave me that when I was younger, I thought it was a bad thing. But you grew up in a household, your dad drinks, you wind up being a sensitive kid, and you want to talk about your feelings. You process like an adult, even though you're a kid, right? So anyway, everybody did side by sides. I'm like, I don't want to do side by sides. I was like, what if I include myself in the video? Let's see what happens. So I'm looking all over the house for props, and I was like, let me try to figure this thing out. And then the more I kept doing it, I kept pushing the envelope. I just kept pushing the envelope, and I'm like, yo, it's a thing now. You see the one I did with the New York stop?
Yes. Oh my God, snatched. Yo, look back is priceless when you jump back like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I saw the video. I'm like, how can I include myself in this? And I just made it like I was grabbing onto the little, the rail, the stop thing. And I was like, I always swing a little bit so it looked like I'm actually on the train. But I just, as a comedian, man, like just finding a fun way to do social media. So if any of y'all trying to find your thing on social media, I know social media is really tough and now we're judged by our followers. Try to find something that you love to do that's not that much effort. Like something that you naturally like to do at social media. Like Debs, like I literally feel like you could have a whole YouTube page on playing songs and doing I'm not even lying. I feel like it seems so soothing. It's almost like that ASMR kind of thing. But I feel like if you can just find really cool DJs and play that, I feel like it'll be a thing. Or if you do meditation music or something, and just, I'm serious. I know it sounds really crazy, but you never know what people like. Because when I first started doing what's going on, there's people like, I'm unfollowing you, you're doing the same thing every day. And I'm like, it's not the same thing. Because literally everybody you like on social media does the exact same thing every day. They just change the situation. They change the situation. Yes. I can watch Tony Baker videos every single day. Like every single day. It's just another animal and another voice. But I'm like, it's the same thing, but I enjoy watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kevin on stage talk about his belly every day. He's talking about his belly every day. I'm a fan. Right. I'm here for the belly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So then let's take it back to Christmas time last year, 2020. Cleaning the house. Yo, TV on. I look up, and my bro is in a bow tie on top of a fucking table, dancing his ass off for Pandora. I said, what in the... Yes, flowers pimping. I said, who hired... Where the... And I ain't seen you in a while, so it was like really kind of like a deja vu. Like, I know him, but what is he doing on the table? So how did that come through? And can I borrow $100? I know you got money for that one. That you already said 6 figures, so I want 1,000 now. Can I borrow 1,000?
You know what's funny, bro? Hear me. All the artists on here, I don't know if there's any artists on here. Let me tell you something, man. Once you find out what your thing is, baby, I can hear you. Once you find out what your thing is and your voice is, the hardest part about comedy is finding your voice, because your voice changes every 7 years. Like, first year of comedy, I'm doing fart jokes and, big people jokes, like simple, low-hanging fruit stuff. And now I'm more nuanced. So when they auditioned for that for that Pandora commercial, they was like, this is the script. The script is, it's holiday season. We need you to come on camera dancing. You're going to see your family. You're going to ask one of your aunties, where's the Christmas lights? Because this is an annual thing that your family does with Christmas lights. We're going to ask you to have her turn her Christmas lights on. It's not going to work. You're going to turn your Christmas lights on and then come back and start dancing again. I was like, wait, what? Like my What's Going On videos? Let's do it. So they're like, action. I go off camera. I slide in the camera like my What's Going On videos. I start dancing. They start playing a little music. I start dancing. I'm like, hey, what's up, auntie? How you doing? I was like, where's my money? They was like, I don't have your money, baby, but I do have these Christmas lights. Let me see your Christmas lights, auntie. And then the lights don't work. They was like, all right, young man, let me see your Christmas lights. Slide off again. I turn the lights off like this. Can you see that? Oh. Yeah. I turn the lights off and I start dancing again, just like my What's Going On video. Literally, that What's Going On video changed my life because I love to dance and I love dance and I love being goofy. And I did that in the commercial. So when I was on set, they was like, I said, where the script at? He was like, don't worry about it. We got it. I'll tell you what to do. He said, literally do what you did in the audition. Do what you did. And I was like, but I was just dancing. He was like, do that. So they gave me the rabbit slippers. They gave me a button up with the bow tie. And I literally did my What's Going On in the audition. The director trusted me enough that every time I did something, he was like, more of that, dance and do this and whatever. And that's what I'm saying. Once you find your voice, I booked a movie and 2 TV shows because of my What's Going On videos. Because every day I'm on your timeline. Somebody hit me up and was like, yo, your video's crazy. I need you to do the sitcom. Are you already hired? Just pull up. Oh. It premieres tomorrow. It's called Stuck With You. It premieres tomorrow.
Yes.
I booked a movie called Will You Be My Quarantine?
Unmute, make some noise for that. Come on now. Man out here working. for that.
I booked a movie called Will You Be My Quarantine, which might be on Netflix, but playing a dad, a lot of reactions, literally what's going on. Like, I know my strengths now because of comedy and like just finding my voice on social media, which is, it's just as hard as finding your voice on stage as it is trying to find your voice in social media. But once you find it, you do it every day. You do it every day. Right. It takes time.
So I got a secret that I'm gonna tell about Ron to y'all. But after I make this secret, I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna open the floor up, and y'all can ask Ron questions. So please start putting your hands up so I can know who to go to. And we're gonna do like this. Ron, I know comedy is probably what is your easy, what comes to you. But you put on this earth to be a pastor, and you know this. Yes. And everybody gonna look crazy, but when I tell you Ron speaks, it's you feel it. You know what he's saying, and it's times where I'm ready to go at Chocolate Sunday, and Ron has to say something, and he makes me feel like shit every time because I'm like, nigga, if you don't say another goddamn word, he say some shit like, you know, God loves all of us, and God loves you, and I'll be like, yeah, he do. Sorry. So, Ron, I know you battle with that. I know you're a clean comic for that reason, and I know it's in you. So when, do you feel that youth pastor, deacon, that's in your that's in your future, right? You know that's
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you feel the same?
So I do feel like I have a little pastoral in me, but I don't want no church. And I feel like I can get more done doing what I do. because I know
that
part of
makes
my
sense.
gift. Part of my gift is I don't know if you were raised in church or not, but I know I got a prophetic gift.
Yes.
The prophetic gift is literally confirmation on stuff you already know. It's like you tell people stuff about them, and they're like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "It shouldn't be scary because if you're in tune with the Spirit, it shouldn't be scary. It should be more confirmation." And I meet people, and it's such a burden when I meet people because it's like God tell me stuff to tell people, and I be torn about whether I should tell them because sometimes it'd be heavy. It'd be real heavy, and I had to learn how to navigate through that. So now I have to find out how to put orange juice on the medicine to tell people stuff that God tells me to tell them, you know? And I realized in my dating, I always had that, but you can't see more in somebody else than they see in themselves because after a while, that becomes a headache because I have this natural fixer thing, again, because of my childhood.
Right.
I always want to fix it, make people's life better. I see people's potential even when they don't see it. I help people find their purpose. I help people like unpack stuff that like, oh, you're sarcastic because you don't like being vulnerable. Because you were hurt as a child and because you were the baby, in order to be seen, you either had to be sarcastic or be loud or be funny or entertain your family in order to be seen. So that's why you don't want to get me to get close to you. Even though you want love, you can't receive love unless you unpack that thing and allow people to do vulnerability because there's no vulnerability. There's no intimacy without vulnerability. Like God would give me stuff like that to tell people and it would scare people. And they were like, how do you know that? And I'm like,
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But now I'm starting to walk in that thing where I'm clear about what it is. And even I feel like my comedy is a bit preachy. I don't try to throw Jesus in your face, but I still throw truth in your face where you have to like make a decision about who you are. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is disruptive and people don't like their I'm gonna say their what's it called? Mythology about themselves and the world we live in to be disrupted. Whether it be politics, you know, people be real polarized by politics because apparently all the stuff that is in the Bible, when politics come into place, like that don't count. You know what I'm saying? Like you worship politics, but God wants a soft heart. So if you have no compassion for people who get shot by cops, but you are gung-ho about unborn kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your thing. Yeah. But when that kid becomes a teenage adult and gets harmed by a cop who's unarmed, then you're like, whoa, that's not politics. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's important because I'm always on the side of compassion, period. I don't care what it is, like religion, sexual orientation. Like I'm on the side of compassion. You love on people no matter what. That's always my thing. But people have their own interpretation of that. So yes, I know that's a part of my mission, but I also feel like I can get more done doing this versus being in a church because church people ain't gonna let you live.
That makes sense. Right. Oh, not.
Church people they gonna let you live.
Always. Got something to say.
I'm supposed to change the way the generation of men see themselves. Like me doing a clean comedian, it ain't just for me. I want young kids to know, like, wait, you can have a dope wife, you can have all this money and be this kind of comic and not be like everybody else. They don't know what I've been through, but they were like, I want that. Because when I do career days, I make sure I put on all my chains, I put my big watch on, I make sure I got my kicks on. Because kids, they listen to you when you look like
them.
That's
what they see.
Exactly. They know you got bread. The person coming in with a suit talking at them, hey, you got to make sure No, I have not used my degree since I got it, but you know, go to school with something you love. But I'm from the hood. I can't go to school and take theater, coming home with tights on doing a nutcracker. I can never come back to the hood. But also, I thought it was stupid to do like what you love. Like you can't do theater in the hood, but I didn't know any better.
Right. I hear you. All right, we got a question from Angela. Angela at the top. Put on Angela in. Angela, this is Ron G. Angela, what question you have for him?
Yes. Hi, Ron G. I have been following you for years before you even moved to LA. I don't know if you remember Dr. Lindsay Warren. You did an event for her in Maryland. That's when I discovered you was then. So I've been following you.
You know that Yvonne Orgy took me to the airport after that show and she wasn't even doing comedy?
Oh, wow. Really?
You know Yvonne, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yvonne, I think they went to the same church or whatever, and Yvonne drove me to the airport at that show.
Yeah, I know they're like friends or something like that. So
you wasn't doing comedy.
Wow. And I saw her perform too, like back in the day in Maryland. So
man, that girl's a whole superstar. She's got an HBO special right now.
Yeah, this is before I even got into comedy. And then I was in LA during the summer of 2019 and I was hanging out at, the Laugh Factory a lot. And I saw you and you were very kind. And that's what stands out to me so much. Cause I'm like, God, if I ever make it in this business, let me keep my people skills up. Cause there, like you said, there are so many people who are up there, but they have no people skills, and that's just a huge turnoff. And I, you know,
My advice for that is chase God like you chasing your dreams.
Wow.
A lot of people chase the dream, but they
Say
don't
it again.
connect with God while they're on their way.
No, say that again. Chase God like
chase God with the same enthusiasm you chasing your dreams, because God won't allow me to be out of character, because I know I'm only loaning this body and I'm loaning this dream, because anytime I can lose my voice or I can get sick and I can't perform no more. So I'm like, I'm grateful. And like when people recognize me, I'm like, it humbles me so much because I don't know what to do with it sometimes. I'm like, I like replaying all the stuff that I've done. I'm just doing another day's work, but to him, like, y'all get a chance to see my journey. I don't even know where I am. Some people are like, oh my God, you're a star, you're a legend. I'm like, man, I'm just getting started.
Right.
I'm just getting started. But anyway, I saw your set today too. I just want to say great job. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hopefully I will get out there in LA and be able to perform myself out there one of these days. I've just been so inspired by you. Like, I'm totally looking at you in a totally different light now. And, you know, I'm just like, but my questions are, you had talked about like moving out to LA. So when you moved to LA, did you find a talent agent out in LA? And was it a comedy talent agent, or was it one who did comedy and acting?
So we're in a different time now. You say you haven't moved out here, right?
No, I haven't. No, I did visit out there in 2019.
Okay.
And
so
I got
LA,
a chance to meet you again. Yeah.
Thank you. The LA I moved here, the LA when I moved here is different from the LA now, because there's no line. A long time ago, there was a line you had to stand in and before you got on. Also, there was no social media. Now, because of social media, if you make enough noise on social media, they'll come see you. They'll come find you. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I was just doing stand-up. I was literally sleeping maybe 12 hours a week because I had a 9 to 5. I would get up at 6, drive to Long Beach every day. I got off at like 5-hour car ride, got home at 6, slept for 2 hours, drunk a Red Bull, go to the Comedy Store, perform, and then get home about 1 o'clock, like every night for like 6 months. I was addicted to Red Bull because I just knew I had to do stand-up. And then from that, I booked the national commercial, and then I booked The Last Comic Standing. But the agent over the showrunner from Who's Got Jokes signed me because she saw me on the show. That was my first agent. I was with her for a long time. Because most time, like, my story is not common, and I believe like we have a very amazing God, so it'll happen. Just keep doing good work and making noise, and all that stuff will happen. So I can't tell you how to find an agent, but if you do good work, keep making noise, keep doing what you're doing. I was performing 2-3 times a day because I was so hungry and I wanted to perfect this craft. And I started making so much noise where a lot of those things people would see me at the comedy. That's back when agents used to come to the comedy club. They don't do that no more. They just check your social media numbers and assume you're funny because you got 1 million followers, and you can be trash, but you have 1 million followers, which apparently that's enough to get you in a movie now. Yeah, so it's just a different time. And the one I found now, I found management, and they saw me and it was like, yo, you don't have a manager? And I was like, no, I don't have a manager. They's like, well, you were doing so well by yourself. And I'm like, I only know what to do. Because even if you get an agent or a manager, they'll never outwork you. They'll never outwork you. And the only reason to find a manager is to help you find a better agent. So if you find an agent, you might not need a manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also do clean. Huh?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense.
Less money to split up if you find an agent first.
Yeah, they're less money than a manager, because a manager takes a little chunk of everything, and everything. So my other question was about finding your voice. Like, you talked about how it took time to find your voice. How much time did it take to find your voice? Yeah.
There's no time on that, but going to therapy helps.
Yo, Ron, is it true that your voice kind of changed? Like you said, every several years you kind of move into a different voice. I mean, different categories. So your voice is never really just found. You just find that moment in time, right?
Well, once you find that thing that you enjoy talking about, every day that thing evolves. Like,
right. Okay.
Being single is one thing. Heartbreak is one thing. Being celibate is one thing. Being celibate and horny is one thing. Meeting somebody you like and you have to tell them, hey, you're trying to wait till you get married, but you want to be a hoe at the same time is a thing. Having kids and finding out they're not yours is a thing. Like all those things was a part of my journey. You know what I'm saying? And the more comfortable I got telling my truth.
I forgot about that.
Bro.
I remember that. I remember that story.
This is the clearest I've ever been in my entire life because I'm comfortable with all my junk. But a lot of times, especially in our culture, we're taught to be strong and being, we got it all together and that hinders your comedy. Man. Comedy is being naked and being vulnerable, like saying the things you don't want to say, crying and having a heartbreak. Man, Sidekick, you don't know this. When I came up with neck tears, bro, I literally was depressed. When you talk about me, I was depressed and I was doing the joke on stage and I was crying during the joke and nobody got it. And everybody was laughing at me, but they didn't know I was depressed, bro. And I don't know if y'all ever been battled depression before, but with depression, comedy creates these, what is it called? It creates endorphins where you're like floating to where when I was on stage, I was so high, I was so happy. But when I came home, I crashed because I only performed to get away versus like performing because this is an extension of me. Right. I was in such a dark space in my personal life. I had to get out the house and perform. So I was like, no, I don't want this feeling. So I had to go to therapy and unpack that thing.
Okay.
Thank you, Nicola.
He muted you.
I didn't mute you.
Okay. I was going to say, I really appreciate you tonight, and you're such an inspiration to me because I'm a clean comedian. I've been a clean comedian since I started in the comedy game. And it is like you are, a light to a lot of darkness out there. And I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And God bless you.
Thank you. And listen, I want to add this too. So I was church hurt too.
I got you, Travis.
You know what church hurt is?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as a clean comic, there's a lot of pain attached to performing at churches because I felt like that was the only place that wouldn't let me be myself because the world would let me be myself. And I did churches. I wanted to do this event at my church home in Atlanta, and they had a young adult event. And I said, can I do it? And she was like, nah, we don't trust you because we don't know if you're going to curse or not. And I'm like, I know not to curse in church. Like, let me live. And I'm like, I'm a member there. I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I'm like working the door ministry, the greeter ministry and everything. And I'm like, I'm not good enough to perform at a church. And I just started doing, like, it was so hurtful. But then my pastor hit me up. He was like, hey, we got a New Year's celebration. We want you to perform. And this was the entire church. This wasn't just the young adult. And when I tell you it set me free where I performed for the entire church, when I tell you I crushed it, I became like a superstar lightweight at the church. And I'm like, that was the beginning of, oh, there's going to be people that's close to you that know God that won't get your dream. And now it's like, they're like, oh my God, you're a superstar. I'm like, but you didn't even let me perform at a little funky event at the church. So I'm saying for you, don't let church people put you in a box being clean, okay? Don't ever say you're a church comedian. I usually don't say I'm clean. I usually don't say I'm clean, but sometimes I have to announce it because I want people to know. But I usually only tell kids, but be clean and just have fun. You don't have to announce it. And talk about the stuff you really talk about at home. Don't be phony and, hey, so Noah was on an ark and then Moses. And and then after your punchline, you like, amen, everybody. No, that's not comedy. Just be funny and don't curse. And I know how to get on the line. I know how to get that line too, because I disrupt people. I'll be like, clap if you want to marry a virgin. I'll say this in church and nobody clap. And I'm like, so y'all gonna judge me? Like, I'm on that. I'm just, like, my voice is disruptive on purpose. I'll go to a church and I'll be like, so clap if you want to marry a virgin. And nobody clap. And I'm like, so y'all sitting here judging me, this is what we doing?
Right.
I go there because I was raised in church and I know how judgmental church people can be. So I unpack all that before I start talking. So we level the playing field. I'm like, oh, so if pastor wasn't here, y'all would laugh at that. If this was on Netflix and your pastor wasn't here, you would laugh. But now because pastor here, you got to check in with him. I call people out on their BS because I don't play that. Because I was raised by people who would, tell me I need to wear a suit to church and then curse people out in the parking lot. I don't like hypocrite.
I believe it.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Angela.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sidekick.
No problem.
No problem. Next we got Andrew. This is my little brother. Where you at, Andrew?
Hey guys.
There you go.
Drew Foster, what's up, man?
Drew, man. How you
Drew
doing,
Foster.
Thanks for all the laughs, guys.
What question you got from Ron, Drew?
Yeah. Just want to say thanks for your honesty. You're motivating, buddy, and congrats on all your success. And have you performed in Canada? And if so, what was your favorite spot?
Yes, I have. I performed in Montreal, Vancouver, and then what's the Oilers? Edmonton?
Yep.
Yep, I performed in Edmonton. I had the most fun in Edmonton.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I met my fiance from, and she moved from Nigeria to Canada when she was like a teenager, right? So that is multicultural. I was blown away. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Can I assume that your fiance is from Wakanda? Can I assume?
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
So how's your jollof rice, sir?
Oh, jollof, buddy, you got it. The suya, the jollof, you got it.
Your pounded yam? How is it?
Man, come on, I'm not quite there yet. No.
You pounded her yam? Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
Leave it up to Ron. What would you fix about me? What would you fix about me, Ron?
Your glasses.
I knew it.
I love you as a person, though. I hate your glasses. It reminds me of those memes when somebody does something savage and the glasses come down like. No, you good, bro. Put them back on, man. That's cool, man. I'm a fan.
Thanks,
Drew. I'm glad we got a chance to talk. I never had a chance to talk to you. I just know you come to the show every week. But
hope to see you in person, man. One day. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Drew.
Are you in Canada now?
Toronto.
Yeah?
Toronto.
That's on my list, man. I would love to come there, man.
Be here.
Hey, Ron. Up next, we got my favorite couple. Party time in the building. What's up, y'all?
Yo, I get to hear them talk.
Yeah, you get to hear them talk, finally. We all get to hear them talk. Hey, party time, how y'all doing?
Careful to wake him up.
Oh my God. And he's like, we're not going to talk. We're going to talk. Because I have questions.
Let's talk. Let's go.
I thought he was like Weekend at Bernie's. He was like.
So first of all, thank you for sharing your story. I think that I'm really inspired by it, in part because I feel like it transcends industries. I know you're speaking about comedy specifically, but I'm a legal academic in particular, and it just kind of spoke to me. And I was wondering, how did you deal with situations in which you are sort of walking in faith and you see everybody around you succeeding? Right? You see people around you winning and you feel like you're not winning and you're sort of wondering about your path. So you kind of touched on that a little bit, but I want to invite you to say a little bit more about it, because I think that that's something that's universal to people regardless of industry. Because you often you feel like you're doing everybody works hard. And I tell my students this, like, yeah, you're smart, but everybody's smart, right? Like, what do you do in a situation where you're working hard, everybody else is working hard, and you see people around you succeeding, and you're not winning yet? And how do you stay the course?
Great question, by the way.
Great question.
So,
great question.
First thing is you have to check your gratitude. You got to check your gratitude meter, because even while you're not where you want to be, you have to be grateful. Like, do I have a place to stay? Do I have someone who loves me and got my back while I'm trying to figure this thing out? Is there evidence of God in my life, even though I'm not where I want to be? Because sometimes the teacher's quiet when you're taking the test. Do I have enough food? Do I feel loved? Do I have someone to come home to, even though I'm not feeling well, but I have someone to share I had a terrible day with when I get home? Like, you have to be grateful that I have a job during quarantine. I still am employed, gainfully employed during quarantine. That's the first thing. Second, I had a similar moment in my career where I got really sad, man, because I watched all my friends take off in front of me, like really down. And I had to check myself, because there was a bit of why I didn't get that. But God was like, nope, you celebrate them. Because when you take off, you want them to celebrate you too. Get that hate out your heart. Whatever that thing is where you feel like you deserve something, that wasn't for you. Check yourself. And I had to learn how to celebrate people and feel like their success is their success and let them have that. Because when my time comes, I want you to celebrate me. Now, when your thing comes, let me tell you something. The hardest part about this walk we have with God is waiting on his timing. He be having plans that he don't include us in none of them. Like, that wait, it makes you sick sometimes. Literally, my first year of marriage, I had so much plans for me and my wife. Like, just won an Emmy, 20 episodes of a TV show. My first year of marriage, I did not work at all. And when I tell you I was so sad, because me and my wife had plans to go all over the world and travel before we have kids. We want to do all this cool stuff. And I did not work the whole year. I couldn't get a call back. And I had to turn off my hope meter because it was making my heart sick. Because I'm so positive and I'm so hopeful that God will do something big, or I'm going to get a big phone call tomorrow. I had to turn it off because my heart was literally getting sick for waiting on God to show up. And I'm like, God, I'm here. But then I went to church one day and my pastor did Q&A. And he said, hey, y'all got any questions off book, whatever it is? Ask me whatever. I said, question, Pastor. So am I wrong to think that God forgot about me because I got married my first year and I didn't work at all? He was like, are your bills paid? I'm like, yes. He said, think about if all your dreams came true this year, first year of marriage, and you're traveling 200 days a year. You think your marriage could sustain? He was like, do you really think your marriage could sustain if all your dreams came true? She said, also, think about all the people that you're admiring right now. Are they married? He said, all the people that are successful and quote unquote past you, are they happily married? Most of my counterparts that are doing well, they're not, it's just them. I don't want to be at this altitude by myself. Because imagine a crack in the window on a plane on the ground is not a problem. But a crack in the window while you're in the air, the whole plane can implode. And so for me, I have somebody to come home to. I get a chance to vent and complain about, how the world's not treating me to my wife. He's like, you won. He said, you have what you need to go where you need to go. And maybe that's what you needed before you took off anyway. You needed your person in your life before you took off. Imagine being at the altitude and doing what you got to do. Like, luckily, y'all grinded together. You and your hubby, y'all grinded. But imagine y'all don't have this quarantine time and you take off and you're working crazy hours where you're on call all the time. He won't have that. That's going to change his dynamic and your dynamic. Love going to be missing. And does he need to subcontract that? How he going to get the love when you working all the time? You spending more time with your job than your husband. What does that look like? You got the title you wanted, but are you really happy? Now he checking out because he like, you don't listen to me anyway. You're so busy with your work. You know what I'm saying? So consider it a blessing right now. Because God can set you up and give you the perfect job where you're getting paid twice as much, but you're doing it from home. You got time to raise babies and spend time with your family, and you getting a check, health insurance and everything during the pandemic.
Right.
So that's why I say gratitude. Just check your gratitude at all times, because you never know. That waiting is tough, man. Me and my wife going through that now. We just expecting God to do some great things. Makes no sense. I don't know when it's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know, but I know this year's gonna be amazing.
So Ron, question. Would you be in thanks party time? I'm sorry. Thank y'all party time.
Thank y'all. And whatever you're asking, hoping for, y'all two need to touch and agree and say it out loud. This is what we want for our family.
Come on, y'all know y'all got it.
Even though you're asking for that title, tell God how you want it to happen. And like, look, I want a title, but I don't want to compromise my family for this title. I want this success. Right. I want it awesome. I want it bad. But at the same time, I don't want to lose my family over success.
There you go. So Ron, with you being positive, working, walking in the word, and you deal daily in the devil's den, because the show business is the devil business. I mean, there's you could get.
Is that really the case though? I feel like the devil plays in all fields. It's a mean people that work at the DMV.
Wait, but yeah, but in the DMV, if something happens, there's laws protecting. Where there's a lot of things that happen in the show business that you just, somebody got you for 10 years and they took $10 million, and it's just like, we can put them in jail, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, just the doggy dog world. It's a low down world, and by you not being that type of person, how do you deal with that? Because I know you've been talked about behind your back. I know you've been undercut before. I know you've been, you know what I mean? Because they always think the nice person or the guy who's not the killer is the one you can mess with, which is usually not the one to really mess with. But so how do you deal with that? Like, like you said, you got the job and everybody going, he ain't that funny, or he, he danced too much, or he, whatever, he can't cuss, or all the the nonsense. How do you deal with all that? I mean, because you deal with that daily. I mean, that's a part of the job. You know what I mean?
The last 5 years is me growing into knowing that I'm special, and sometimes being special sucks. People that are special,
right,
sucks. People that don't have no rules or boundaries, and you don't have a target on your back, and the devil ain't necessarily like, they can do what they got to do. They can do whatever, and you like, man, how they do that? They don't even believe in God. Like, how do you know what I'm saying? But when you're special, sometimes your route is a little long. You got to take the scenic route, but also he protects you from stuff and you don't even know what it is. Because this is the cool part about Chocolate Sundays. A lot of comics hate me, but they can't talk bad about me because they got to come through me to perform in the city.
Exactly.
They got to come through me. I'm going to hear about it. The city is small. The more successful you are, the smaller the city gets.
The comedy family is small. I mean, that it ain't that many of y'all that that if you're talking shit in Chicago, it'd come back to LA. I mean,
I'm gonna hear about it. I'm going to hear about it. And listen,
right.
I've gotten phone calls from executives and people like, hey, do you like so-and-so? And I'm like, what's up? What's your real question? They'd be like, I'm thinking about hiring them for this gig. And I never want to mess with people's money. I never want to do that, but I'm like, I won't mess with their money, but I wouldn't want to work with them. Because people know my word is good. I'm like, I wouldn't want to work with them. They'd be like, why? I'm like, that's not for me to say, but I personally wouldn't want to work with them. You know what I'm saying? I have that kind of access now where people call me and be like, hey, should I hire so-and-so? What you want to know? I got a cat in Atlanta. He'll hit me up. He's like, is so-and-so funny? I'm like, that's all you want to know? He's like, are they easy to work with? You know what I'm saying? I don't hate on people, but some people I'm like, I don't want to work with. The cool thing about LA, anybody could be your boss tomorrow, though. Anybody could be your boss in LA.
That is true. We got a question from Travis. Travis, what's going on? Where you at, Travis?
What up, Travis? How you doing, man?
What up, though? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, first I just want to say I just think it's super dope, the like the graciousness and the humbleness of like a true grind, like because like at the beginning he was saying like he talked to you and you're outside of clubs and saying I should be there, I need this, I should be there, but then like when you're getting the praise and stuff like that, like you're almost like blown away and like too humble, where it's like I'm tearing up just hearing that you even like recognize that thing. So I just think that's dope. Like it's the arrogance is gone. Like if you're really grinding, like I should be there a long time ago. I just think that's dope to see. But my question
he's arrogant, but don't worry about it. He know how to do
but in some of these questions though, like when you were saying like personal shit, like there was emotion behind it. Like I'm tearing up. Like I can't believe you're asking me or giving me praise for these things. So just I feel like that has to do with the grind of nobody asking things like that. But my question was just getting more information on the whole manager agent thing. Because when you said you're getting the manager for the agent, because I thought managers were like more a personal connection, where it's like they're like a relative almost, and the agent was just like somebody that like has a bunch of people. So when you said you get a manager to get the agent, I just was kind of confused with that.
So when you get a manager, they should help you find an agent, because a lot of the big gigs and TV shows. Are you an actor? You an actor?
No, I do. I do comedy. I'm kind of on hiatus right now, but I'm
okay.
Yeah.
But you eventually
I dabble in a bunch of different stuff. I don't. I mean, I was in a movie from director BZ Jones from Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, I was extra in that, but still, I dabble. I dabble.
It's all good, man. But you're asking me because one day you want to be an actor. Is that why you're asking?
I'm not sure where I'll go, but I want to know about that element of it.
Okay.
So I heard about each.
The managers usually, they know your business, they know your schedule. The manager helps you manage your life. You know what I'm saying? So they should be in your business. They should know your schedule. They should know your family. They should know your loved ones. They know your preferences on, if you like all blue M&Ms, you want lemonade, you want water. Like they should know all that stuff. But at the same time, to have a manager and get the roles you really want, you need an agent, because the agent has access. And usually, the larger your agency, they have a group of people that they submit every time there's a role. Usually when you're new, you're doing the actors access thing and you're doing it self-submitting. But when you have an agency, depending on the size of it, they have a short list. And the more popular your star rises, there's a short list of people. Like it'd be like 20 people in this demographic, like young, black, late 20s, early 30s, they'll submit for the role. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get those roles by your manager, because there's some kind of clause they have where managers can't necessarily submit for roles because it conflicts with the agent's money. And so it's something that they have where a manager can't do that. That's why you have to find an agent. So if you have a manager, depending on what you want to do, if you're trying to just get a booking manager, that's the thing. Because I chose my manager personally because he knew comedy and they do TV and film as well. Because I've had agents that do TV and film. So when I go on the road, they didn't have no access to nothing. They didn't know how to cut. Like if I'm going to Seattle, I would have them call the comedy club and find out if I can get a spot while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? That's what a manager would do.
Do you keep your manager through multiple agents?
I got one manager and he handles everything, but literally he only gets money off TV and film, and if he books something for me. But everything else I book for myself. And depending on the level of the job, I would probably handle it myself, depending on what it is. Like this is a local gig. Let's just say I'm going to DC and it's a comic who wants to book me to do a show, you know what I'm saying, less than 5,000. I would handle it myself. But if it's like a big gig and you're doing a tour or something like that, I'll give it to my manager and let him work out the numbers, because sometimes I know my rate, but I still wouldn't want to get his opinion because he's been in the business long enough, and he'll try to find out the most he can get me with amenities and everything else, and sort out that depending on what the situation is. So again, I'm asking because you have to find out if you want to be a traveling comedian, or if you want to be a comedic actor, or a comedian and an actor, and all those require a different thing.
Okay.
Great question. Thanks, Travis.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, finally good to hear you talk too, man. I see you pop up every now and again, but I never heard you speak before.
I speak every time.
Last one, Ron. We got our man who's been here every week in the bar.
Yeah.
John Coon. What's up, John?
Look at the coon.
Now I gotta...
Look at the coon. Look at the coon. What's up, John Coon? How you doing, bro?
John?
Yeah, I'm chilling, Ron. Like, nice to see you again.
Same here. One of my favorite people, man. I am so grateful for you. Like, just being a part of my life and Chocolate Sunny's family, man. Like, I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. I'm glad to hear that. Mad respect. Like, likewise, you know, it's like, if it wasn't for you and Sidekick, like this year, it'd be mad tough for like a lot of people, you know? So I guess the thing that I think and, you know, hear about you is, you know, your clean comedy and the fact that, like, you know, you went that route. Like, I was just kind of curious, like, what was the turning point that, like, you know, obviously some of these comedians can get ahead early, you know, doing this type of stuff, but you chose to keep it clean. So what prompted you to decide to, like, you know, I'm going to be a clean comedian like that?
It's so funny, man. So when I told you my boo story, when they told me to kill myself, great question, by the way. I told you my boo story when they told me to kill myself. I was actually a dirty comedian. I didn't know any better because all you know is what your environment is. And I came up under a bunch of Comic View comedians, and I never felt like I fit in because I wasn't a Comic View cat. Like, I wasn't. But that generation, they was like, I feel like they got hazed so bad they just try to put my generation through it. And my generation is like LeVar Walker, K-Dub, Lil Rel, like that class of, you know, Ronnie Jordan. Like, I'm like a little bit below them, but and Byron Bowers too. And so they try to basically haze us, man. Like, if you didn't go through what we went through, you ain't no real comic kind of thing. But I'm from the hood and I went to college, so my voice was different. And like I said, I started out being dirty because I didn't know any better. And right around the time I got booed and they told me to kill myself, I joined this church in Atlanta that literally changed my life. That's when I heard about the book, The Purpose Driven Life. If you haven't seen it or read it, the book is amazing. Basically, it tells you, like, your purpose isn't for you. Your purpose is to basically change a generation of people because of, you know, you were put here for a reason, and that purpose is bigger than you, but it's not for you. And I just feel like the sky opened up and it unlocked something in my head and my heart where it's like, I could literally be myself and change the world and do what I love for a living. Because I always thought, like, you had to live the formula. The formula is you go to school, you get married, you make babies, you retire, and you die. And you do this job until you turn 60, and that's the dream.
60 and retire, right.
Which everybody I know who does that isn't really happy. So I was like, I'm going to figure this thing out.
Miserable. Right.
And so this older comic named Jerry Farber, OG cat from Atlanta, I think he was like old then. He probably like super old now. He walked up to me one day. He's like, man, you're really funny, but why you curse so much? And I'm like, I don't know. He was like, you got a good look, kid, man. You got a bright future. You don't have to curse so much to be funny. Same time, God tugging at my heart. And he's like, I just feel like God was just doing something. Like, you're different from everybody else. I want you to do this thing. And I'm watching kids admire me while I'm trying to figure out my funny. And I feel like I got saved right around the time I got funny. And I had a bunch of trauma before I got saved, which is the reason why I met God. And I was like, God, I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll give you the drinking, the sex, smoking. Like, I'll give you everything. I got super saved for a while, which was almost unrealistic. But in my head, it made sense at the time because of the environment I was in. I was like judging people and quoting scriptures during conversation. Just stupid. Like, just over the top. Had a cape on and the Bible in my hand. Like, I was that dude. And so I went back to the place I got booed at where they told me to kill myself. And I did 5 minutes and I didn't curse and I won. And I was like, oh, this is different. And then I felt like God told me, okay, you're doing well. You're performing and you're not cursing, but you curse in your personal life. And he was like, you know, you hard on church people. So if I call you to change this world and be a minister of, you know, my mission, what makes you any different? Because you being phony. You know, if a pastor did what you did, you would criticize them. Because I'm real hard on church people. I got church hurt. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if a pastor did not curse in the pulpit, but he cursed off stage, you would judge him. What makes you any different? Stop being a hypocrite. And I was like, okay. And I stopped. I stopped. But this is the 360 of that moment happening. So I stopped cursing in my personal life. I stopped cursing on stage. When I got hired for Nickelodeon, man, after my audition, they was like, "So we heard you perform at the Laugh Factory. We'd love to come." Nobody says that in auditions. I'm like, "Why y'all asking these questions?" It was like, "I have to be honest with you." It was like, "We've been stalking you on social media, and you're a clean comedian." And I have to tell you, because Nickelodeon is such a specific brand, I feel like you were the exact person we were supposed to hire. And I appreciate you being clean. And it made everything make sense. Like God was setting me up with this thing, even though the delayed gratification was like 10 years later. He was like, this was supposed to happen, so this can happen. And it was like, we love you. And you were perfect, because we didn't know what kind of comic you were, but you were great for the role. But we found out that you were clean, and we were like, we're so thrilled to have you. And I'm like, God, what are you doing? Like, how all this happening? So that's like that's how it all came together, bro.
Yeah, I want to say, like, honestly, like, if I can say, like,
go ahead,
Ron, like, you know, I had the pleasure of meeting Ron, like, in a small personal, like, position.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I really felt like his, like, realness, you know, like the fact that, like, he's a real person that, like, really feels like he's very, like, welcoming and, like, respectful, you know. I guess that's the short end of what I could say. Like, you know, I'm really glad to see you succeed. You're a good person. I believe that, like, you know, he'll go far, and he's a real person that, like, has respect for people and has a good heart. So much love, and I wish the best for you.
Yeah, bro. So if somebody told you I cursed them out, don't believe them. And if I did, it's probably because they said something reckless to my wife. Don't believe these lies if you heard me. Somebody said I cursed them out. They probably said something reckless to my wife. Other than that, yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you all y'all.
No, thanks, Ron.
Yvonne, Debs, Kristen, Angela, Tori, Moses. Don't you yawn while I'm trying to say these kind words.
Right.
Big Nut, Party Time, Travis, Shantae. Shantae's got a man.
Uh-oh.
Thank y'all, man. Drew Fossa, Brandy, Sarah, of course. I love your energy and you being all sweet to me, man. Y'all have no idea. I feel like this was a chance to pull up with your family and talk, man. But thank y'all so much, man, for this great night and making it special for me, because I didn't know what to expect.
Before we go, I want to shout out to my East Coast, which is Kristen, Auntie Yvonne, Drew, Party Time. Thank y'all for hanging in there. I know.
I'm East Coast too.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay, Angela, I'm sorry. Angela.
Yvonne, we back. Yvonne, what city you in?
I'm in Virginia.
What city?
Richmond.
Oh wow.
What do you ever heard that place called, a comedy club called the Draft House or something? Arlington Draft House?
It closed down, I think. No, it didn't.
No, they're still open.
The Arlington
I got an email from them
up here.
Is that far? Is that far from you?
Arlington, not really. No, it's maybe about an hour or two, something like that. It's not unreachable.
You got gas money?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think they're hiring me to perform there. If y'all can't get some troops for me to pull up, I would love to have y'all come through, man.
Okay.
But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted on the dates.
Yeah, let me know.
Auntie Yvonne in the building.
Hey, me too. You too.
Yeah. So, I mean, will you post it on your social media or something?
I'll post it everywhere. I can't wait. I love that area, man.
Okay.
I will definitely come to you if I can. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be reckless.
So everybody, make some noise for Ron G, y'all. My little bro came through. One of my best shows. I can't even lie. Go. Ron, tell them where they can see you and find you at. Huh?
Oh, but Sunday. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh yeah, all but Sunday. So get
you made it through without crying. Because you were close.
So much.
You were this close.
I've been through so much, man. Y'all just don't know about this journey, and all my dreams are coming true right now. Like, it's literally while this is happening, like I can feel the earth moving, and it's happening.
But Ron, you know how many people hit me like, why haven't you did Ron yet? And my thing with you was, I knew what we would go through, how long it would be, and I was like, I got to put him in the right spot. Like, you couldn't just come off with this right here. We on, you know, Sundays every Sunday. Me and Ron's relationship went through a lot, y'all. When I say he's my little brother,
yeah.
Me and Ron has cussed each other out. Damn near.
I love you like a biscuit, bro. I love you like a biscuit.
But you know the thing about it is, right? The crazy thing about it though is, what I can say about Ron, and he always do this, and he always kills you with this. Like, I'm the kind of person, when I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll. My anger's there, I'm angry there. So I'm like, yo, Ron talking crazy. And Ron will come up and he'd be like, so you want some of this biscuit? You good? We is it clear? Are we done? And I'll be like, yeah, we good. Like it never stays. That's why.
But you know what it is? You and I only argue when you're not at your full potential. That's the only time.
Yeah, but then it's
you know what I'm saying? Like you be eating and stuff, and I'm like, man, you missed the music cue. You like, well, nigga, I'm trying to eat. I'm like, well, nigga, you only here for 3 hours. Like it's okay.
No. Hey, wait. So now I'm the professional when it comes to music cues. That's what makes me different. Ron is I'm gonna just go by the flight of my seat. So he'll go on stage and be like, so. And then I did the sexy walk, and I'll be like, where the fuck did that come from? He didn't tell me he was doing that. What the? He look at me like
snacking. You would know that I'm doing the joke.
Now, here's the thing about that. I don't have time to snack because you have 3 comics coming up who are all heavy hitters, who all want points in their thing. They want this song to come on. Can you do this? If you got somebody like a Howie Bell or something like that, they got jokes within a thing. Like McGriff, he got that R. Kelly at the end. So a lot of times I'm not eating. I can't eat because I got to sit here and get all these pews together. Then he want to jump on stage and just go into a joke.
Moving the cursor while you talking to me? Is that what that is? Y'all saw that?
What?
The cursor was going across real slow while he was talking to me. You disrespect. You disloyal. All right, cool. All right.
Everybody, make some noise for Ron G, y'all. Make some noise. Thank you, Ron. Family, love it. We about to go into Wind Me Down real quick. We're going to drop like this.